All right, good people around the world from London to the Bay. It is the daggum best sports show going today, the Matt and Todd Show. Thank you guys for coming by. Show number 198. So glad that you made us a part of your Sunday night tradition, coming by and getting ready and getting fired up, Dean, for college football. Dean, what are we going to talk about tonight?
Well, I'm going to talk about Michigan's fearless leader, Jim Harbaugh. He's under some scrutiny right now and he just possibly going to get suspended. I'm also going to discuss the Tennessee Volunteers. We're going to talk about how they're going to be this upcoming year after last year's success.
And the Auburn Tigers down here in the lower part of Alabama are ripping apart the recruiting trail. Coach Freeze and staff are doing a fantastic job. I'm going to dive into that because we did Auburn, but we got to dig back into them. They have really stepped up their game. And, of course, you can read on thumbnail, hype, over or under. Dean's doing Tennessee, as he said. I'm going to talk about the Vanderbilt Commodores and their quarterback Swan, guy coming in from Georgia. And speaking of a guy from Georgia, flying right in on the plane, limousine riding. You can't hold these alligators down. The Burge.
You came in on our Learjet, didn't you?
Yeah.
How was everything?
It was a puddle jumper. I seen him out there trying to get it started with the
crop duster.
Yeah.
All right, y'all hang on.
There you go.
And we will be right back. Hang on here with us and stay on the show.
All right.
All right. Here we are, dadgum, we back. Thank you, everybody, for coming by. Hey, if you're not already a part of the show, just go down right under there, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, go over on Twitter at bbirds and find Benton and his crew. They do a fantastic job for Northwest Georgia Scoreboard Show. All you kind of high school stuff you ever want to know about, they've got it going on, and I'm sure we will kick around a little bit of high school stuff for us, Georgia. I'm sure it'll come up in topics. So, Dean, them darn Auburn Tigers,
they're doing good, huh?
They have decided that they are just going to step up their game, and they're not going to let Georgia or Alabama get any of their little recruits. 2024 recruiting class. We'll start out with a guy from Benson, linebacker. He's a three-star guy. D'Angelo Barber is going to be a guy that they're going to probably pick up. Another defensive lineman. The Blockton kid down from Pike Road. You know, he's got to be a good player.
Yeah, you don't start there unless you're pretty good.
No. They're breaking new ground as the ground has become to freeze. They have had 2 swaps from 5 stars coming on this week. Foley, Alabama wide receiver star Perry Thompson swapped away just this week in a recruiting video that you can find on Twitter through Coach Freeze and staff there. Then Chilton County throwed out a linebacker, DeMarcus Riddick. He was supposed to be going to Georgia just last month, and Auburn picked him up. And also Joseph Phillips of Little Rock, Arkansas. They're knocking down some trees out there in Arkansas. And then a Walker White. He's from the Christian Academy. He's going to be a quarterback. I watched a little bit of high school stuff on him. He looks pretty good. He's a pocket passer style of young man. I'm curious to see how he kind of folds out. Tigers have 14 recruiting, and they're ranked number 15 right now today.
Wow.
On 3. They're 7th in the SEC, only behind Florida, Georgia, Bama, Tennessee, A&M, and LSU. Now, Walker White, the young man that I spoke about as being a quarterback, Coach Freeze says that he likes how he keeps his arm in motion, keeps his head down the field, and he reads and analyzes plays very well. And, of course, we all know Fat McBurnett from Andalusia. He signed last year. He did not play in the state championship game against Cherokee County that we watched. No. And then Amon Lane, a cornerback from Moody. We've seen him play.
Moody's supposed to have their best squad they've ever had in the history of the school this next year.
They're good. And this kid was good, and he's coming off at Auburn. And then Jaden Lewis, the kid from Anniston, we watched him play over there the other night, last year when they played Piedmont. So they're loaded up big time. Burge, what are you thinking about the Tigers right now?
One more name I want to throw in there, Martavius Collins. He's now at South Pittsburgh, formerly of the Rome Wolves. Big time athlete. I think he played both sides, maybe tight end and defensive end.
What was his last name?
Collins.
Left Rome to go to South Pittsburgh.
It's a long story. I won't bring that up here, but he's from Pittsburgh, and 6'3", 241. He's a 3-star guy. I think he's been in the fold at Auburn for a while now. But
well, do y'all think Freeze is fixing to have Auburn? I mean, it sounds like they're going to be pretty competitive from now on.
Well, I
think he does a good job.
Yes, here's the thing, Jeff. Hey, what's going on? Couldn't help to have a better coach. Furball suspension. Yeah, he's got a rag on Michigan. That if they can put them together, and that's what I told Jeremy. He does a lot of Twitter Spaces over there. He's an Auburn guy, and we talk through the week a lot. And TriStar's big Tennessee homer. If he can, that's the thing. You can have all the stars next to your name, and we all know this. Everybody watching and listening. You got to be able to put it together.
Oh, yeah. And Freeze has been, he's done well as a coach.
Yeah. It's not really been a failure as a coach.
So. No. Got in trouble a little bit, but not at Liberty he didn't.
Yeah, they're going to come out and set the woods on fire. They got the toughest schedule. They always do because why? Because they play Georgia and Bama. It's not even like a rotation.
Yeah, every year. It's like you never get out of it. It's like a life sentence.
Yeah. So good luck with that. And Auburn, they're going to probably wind up. They'll finish in the top 20 because these other schools will start. I mean, this is not the kids coming now. Okay, these are kids that are going to graduate
this next year.
This time next year, they will be preparing to play at Auburn. So I had some confusion on the Gators video that we did, and I put it out, and I said that they were ranked number 14 and 17. This guy comes in the comments later and says, "You're an idiot. What world are you living in? They're ranked number 3 in recruiting." I'm like, no, they're not. It's 14 and 17. I know what I'm talking about. I'm looking. I went back and looked again, make sure it went crazy.
Where did he get that from?
Still don't understand what you're talking about. I said, and I looked at 24 class. Yes, for 24, they are ranked really high. Florida is.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with the players we're putting on the field right now. So this class, let me redefine this again. This is a 24 class for Auburn. These guys are not playing this season that's fixing to start. Is for next year.
Did he kind of?
Yeah, once I said it, you're right. They are 3 for 24 class, but this year 23, the kids that they just recruited that Bill Coach Napier just got, they were 17 and like 14th on 3. So just want to be clear of that.
He kind of backed off, huh?
What else is going on in the world of sporting news today, Birds? What about the Braves? Did they win today?
Yeah, the Braves won 8-6. 8-6. Finished off a sweep of the Brewers.
Wow, the Brewers are good too.
Yeah, they have been good. The Braves been lighting them up, though. They actually faced the Brewers in Milwaukee and then come back and faced them again in Atlanta, swept them in Atlanta. And Matt Olson was the hero today. 2 homers, 5 RBIs. He leads the RBI. He leads in RBIs in the MLB, and he's right up there in homers as well.
Wow. Matt, I meant to mention this on the show, and Benton knows that a guy from Chattooga High School is actually pitching in the MLB right now.
Yeah.
Amos Willingham is he pitching for the Nationals?
He is. He's pitching for the Nationals. And
how's he doing?
I mean, he's had some good outings. He's like every other kid out there now. He's running it up to 99, 100 miles an hour on the radar.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Benton, is he not the only former county besides Rick Camp, to play in the majors?
In the recent eras, I'd say, yeah. I don't know. I can't think of anybody else that's.
And he played at Chattooga, right?
He did.
He's the first one from Chattooga, right?
Yeah, and I don't think he pitched a whole lot during his career at Chattooga. So he did toward the end of his career, from what I've been told. But I watched him some in high school, but not a lot.
I know his sister there, and I didn't know. I didn't know that he had done this well. But that's just great. I know his parents. I saw some stuff about Facebook on it. Pitches for the Nationals.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
When he got the call up, I heard the story. When he got the call up, they were out on the West Coast. It was like, I don't know if it was Seattle or something like that, but anyway, his dad, I don't think he'd ever flew on a plane. He's like, why not go big or go home? I guess you got to make the longest trip.
I went in other sporting news. I don't know the guy. He's not one of the most popular golfers, but I saw where the 3M Open in Minnesota today, the guy shot for 4 days was 23 under.
How do you do that?
That is an average of 65 a day.
I don't know how that's possible.
I watched the closing hole, and there was a guy that was 3 shots back of him. He was 20 under, and he made like a 9 or something on the hole, 8 or 9. And this guy hit his second shot to within 8 inches.
And
you know, he was just on fire, man. He was hitting them close.
So the guy, the 23 under guy, did win it, right?
Yes.
Okay, but I mean, I just can't even imagine shooting. Could you imagine shooting 20 under and coming home and telling your family you finished second? Hey, 8 under. I'm not kidding y'all. 8 under was not even in the top 50.
No.
That just means it was either real soft, real short. I mean, some kind of advantage for the pros. I mean, it's the only thing you could think.
Yeah, I mean, they dominate these courses. I mean, you know, we have no idea. I mean, they hit it in a mile. It's just their scores are just unreal.
Yeah.
What else in news? Oh, yeah, Colorado, which it's not news. They are – for sure, they are going to the Big 12, which, again, that's not news. We broke that.
See, that's where they used to be, right?
Yeah.
With Nebraska.
Yeah, that's not news. I don't know why. A lot of people are talking about it. I don't know why it's really even a.
That'll be better for them, I would think.
Yeah, I think so, too.
I never did like them really in the Pac-12 anyway. I just, growing up, Nebraska and Colorado,
they can make some money.
Yeah.
Because we all know what's happened in the Pac-12. 14 years that they've been away. They will begin the 2024-25 season. And on August these are some recruiting stuff. So this is other news. So, yeah, that's not really big news about Colorado. It's just not. I went back and found our video from a month ago. We talked about it.
We'd already talked about it. It was a possibility.
Here's some other recruiting news. Amari Jefferson, the kid from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Could be going. He's hard Bama or maybe Georgia and Tennessee or second, third. We don't know. He'll decide August the 5th. Also deciding is Ed Race Houston, defensive lineman from Buford, and KJ Bolden. They've been talking about him a lot today, a safety. They will both look at Bama as their number one right now, and they will also decide August the 5th. So there's some other Houston and Bolden from Buford.
Where? I'm not familiar with that.
They're going to have a quarterback flying that they flew him in from out west. So he could go to Georgia. Kirby Smart put him on his plane. I mean, I don't know how how they not going to get in trouble for that.
Where was that we played that time? And Jeff Foxworthy and Terry Pendleton and were in the stands. Was that GAC?
GAC, yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, you can look down and Jeff Foxworthy's in the stands.
Smoke them if you got them.
2000 and
what, 7, 6, 7, 5?
Thought it was 9.
4.
3.
No, it was 9. It was 7.
Mark Johnson and them. Was it Mark Johnson?
I think they were already gone. I think it was 7.
Trying to do a podcast here.
Anyway, one thing I was going to bring up, y'all probably already, covered this like crazy, but what about your the most famous PE teacher in the state of Alabama?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That is big news.
Yeah. Pruitt coming, getting the hammer smashed down, over 200 violations.
Lord.
And I went through some of them and read them just so I would know some.
Were some of them silly?
Look, guys, and I'm not taking up for him. I've said this about Muschamp. I mean, Gene Shiznit at Auburn. To Nick Saban and all the guys when Saban them got in trouble with Julio and them was there. Everybody does this, one. And two, I don't mean to sound cliche or try to sound cool, but what's the big deal?
Was it didn't? Well, we'll get into Harbaugh later. But was it stuff like getting them lunch and stuff?
No, it was big stuff. But who cares?
Okay.
The allegations went through this. I read a paragraph or two. He gave cash to his wife, which then therefore went and put a down payment on a car for a player's mom. Went and put a down payment like $5,000 down for an apartment, like, paid their first and last month's rent, paid their power to get cut on, and give them a few extra $1,000 for groceries. I just don't care. I don't see a problem in if this kid's going to come play football for you and make you're already making millions of dollars at your college.
It's coming out of his pocket, right? I mean, if it's coming out of the football fund.
It's boosters. It's just people, lawyers, doctors from up there around Nashville and Tennessee and Knoxville just wanting to pay money. If they got hundreds of thousands of dollars, if they got $250,000 sitting in the bank, Birds, why do I care if Kirby Smart's got a best friend that's a multimillionaire in Atlanta somewhere, and he wants to buy the kid, what's his name? The quarterback, this Rayan kid, he brought him from out west. They flew him in. They got him a house. They're living here. He's playing at Buford this year. Who cares?
If the guy wants to pay for the house.
Listen, there's so many other bad things going on in this world. And the NCAA wants to crack down on silly crap like Jeff calls him furball up at Michigan.
Oh, man.
Lying about a cheeseburger.
And it wasn't what he done. It's that he just lied about it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was when –
that's my spiel.
Do you want to go on and go over?
Yeah, that's fine. And it just aggravates me. I just don't care.
Well, yeah, as y'all know, and me and Matt had discussed this, and we was going to talk about it today, Harbaugh, more than likely, 99% is going to be suspended for 4 games. Level 1 violation, improper contact with a player, took some to lunch. But the main thing is what Matt said. They said he misled investigators.
Yeah. Did you do this? No, I didn't. He
couldn't come up with the receipts. They said it was obvious he was lying, but he's going to do a 4-game stint. I don't know what the improper contact with the players were, but I know supposedly he took 2 to lunch.
Yes, ma'am, Miss Lawson. We
two to lunch.
We're glad to do it. Thank you.
And just lied about the receipt. What do y'all think about this?
Silly. I'm not going to. I'll get fired up. I'll get look, man. There's just if a kid's going to play football at McNeese State, or if he's going to play at Georgia, or what, so he put some money down so his mama could get a car so she could go to work.
Right.
Who gives a crap?
Harbaugh wasn't even close to this kind of stuff.
I think what the purists are saying is, they're enticing all these players just because of those things.
Smoke them if you got them, son, because they all got the money.
It'll never be fair there because
it won't, because Jacksonville State can't do that. I know.
So would Harbaugh have gotten in trouble having just told him the truth? Because it just said it was improper contact.
Yeah, not much.
It wouldn't have been a suspension, I don't think.
Okay. No. But I mean, lunch is probably not going to. I'm serious, and it's fine that he bought him lunch, but that's probably not going to swing a kid to go to a school.
Well, no. And paying the down payment on a mom's car, like the kid's going to school there, and you're going to help them pay, get them an apartment to rent, and Ben's right. It's not fair to. I brought it McNeese. Let's bring Alcorn State. I'm sorry, Alcorn fans. They can't do that.
No, Alcorn cannot do that.
Rich Rod at Jacksonville can't just, fork out $10,000 to buy a down payment for a mom's car, or for a sister to have a car to go back and forth. I know that.
UC Bakersfield can't do that.
But has it? What I'm saying, it's been going on. It's been happening. So, but if you just, they're doing it, and most of them get away with it, and Pruitt just did not. And I'm not taking up for him. I'm not a Tennessee fan at all. 0 fan here for Tennessee. But dadgum, man, I just,
Yeah, it's pretty. They got written. I mean, this Harbaugh thing, do y'all think they're just making an example out of him?
No, he just lied.
But I mean, that's a harsh 4 games. I mean, and I'll admit the games, they'll probably win all 4 of them.
Us 3 could go up there. I'll call the defensive line. Birds call offensive line. Dean, you call plays in, and we could win.
Yeah.
Have you seen the games he's going to miss?
Rutgers, East Carolina, Bowling Green, and UNLV.
Here's what I don't like about the whole situation with Harbaugh. Since when does the NCAA care about doing things right?
That's what I'm just saying, dude. There's so much other stuff going on. When
But his was about improper contact, and y'all know what that means.
it's during COVID.
Cell phone.
But I heard it was 2020. It was during COVID season. That's when all this happened. This didn't just happen. Well, during the COVID situation, the coaches have no. That's why they fired. At Arizona State, Herm.
Oh, I know.
They run him
Herm
off.
Edwards.
Are you kidding me? He's a Hall of Famer. You run him off because he brought a kid to the dang practice field during COVID.
Yeah.
And we're done telling people all these people was wearing masks and getting you boosters. We tell them it's all silly. But now all that's come out, and we know that the old country snuff dipper over here, well, I was right. But then they fire a coach because of it.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
Well, the truth is, they just get, like Fitzgerald at Northwestern.
Yeah.
They get rid of coaches when they want to. They can find something.
If he would have won 6 games,
he would have never got fired. So he won 1 game or 2 last year?
Yeah, 1. He's gone.
Yeah. And then they fired him over a hazing incident.
That's been going on there for 50 years.
But now I don't understand. If it was not a big deal, I don't understand why Harbaugh lied. But that's what they're puzzled about. But
me too. I'll just say it.
Looks like they're going to hammer him, but it's not for the biggest games.
Paying is legal now, said Coach Bunn.
Huh?
Bunn said paying's legal. It is. It's legal. I mean,
yeah.
Good to see you on, Bunn. Man, he ain't been on a while. It's time to get football season. You got to get your butt back on here, son. We got to go to some football games.
He goes to a lot of Georgia games.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess my question for y'all, there's no need on us to keep talking about it. Do y'all agree with the suspension for Harbaugh?
No.
Or is it too excessive?
That's stupid.
Stupid.
Okay. So we're all in agreement.
NCAA needs to worry about, putting parameters around things before they need to worry about a cheeseburger that a kid's getting bought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of burger, I'm serious. Jeff Berger, who used to quarterback Auburn, got in trouble one time for somebody buying him something on a trip. He went on a hunting trip.
AC, a guy that we know we went to school with, will remain nameless. They know what I'm talking about. He went to school at Auburn, and he went to games there those years when they were on that run, and they won a big game at home, and he's in the restaurant there, like him and his buddy, and he's an alum, and he just, go to game, and the old boy that played defense, the nose tackle.
How about Fairley?
Yeah. Him and another guy's eating a burger and a milkshake at the corner table, and he just kind of goes by and come grab their ticket and take it to the register. It's like $20. Hey, guys, y'all played good today. Proud of you guys. Y'all are going to make a good run. It's good to be Auburn this year. We're going to have a good run. We're really going to – I think we got a good team to win it. Sorry, sir. I appreciate it. Everything. You can't buy me a cheeseburger to be against NCAA. What are we doing? Why can't you buy a good old fat boy, old cheeseburger and milkshake at Timber's Corner? Who gives a flying rip? I don't care. Buy the boy a burger. He's not buying him a Ferrari.
Well, right.
It's not realistic. Cheeseburger meal, 4 games.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not trying to get off on a rabbit hole here. I'm going to pro ball, but they are hammering these pro players over this gambling.
Yeah. If you walk 10 foot outside the door, it's okay. But you walk inside I see it. You're suspended.
They're not. I don't even know if they're betting much, not compared to what they make.
No, they're not even betting on their own. It just don't make sense. I know why.
I understand it.
The whole definition behind it, they're trying to keep the guys from getting out of control with this gambling. But you have gambling sites sponsoring birds. What if DraftKings comes to you and says, "Hey, we would like to sponsor Northwest Georgia Scoreboard Show"? You're going to be like, "Nah, I can't do that. It's illegal." No, of course not.
No, we're going to check for sign them up.
They're going to give you $10,000.
Well, I think they're afraid that the player is going to end up throwing a game.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I understand that part of it.
And like Bird said, everybody can't pay the players and put $5,000 down on an apartment, and he's right. But man, they do it anyway.
Mhm.
You know, and NCAA is a joke. We don't even have no kind of rules, regulations. Lane Kiffin, go back and watch his media day this year. He just flat out says, I'm coaching a pro football team now. It's nothing but free agency at its finest.
Why did they not? I mean, do y'all have the answer to this? Why do they not step up and do better? I'm talking about the NCAA.
Idiots.
No power, man. They can't do
I mean-
anything because they're gonna get sued over it.
The
But
kids
they
have
could
the
make
power.
transfer rules, and
They have. Like you can't, you know, remember they changed it to like
April 30th,
Times.
right?
yes, and then at the end of the season you had to wait, and they have done some things, but everybody knows that we're just waiting for Alabama and Georgia to break off and start their own division.
Just Alabama and Georgia.
Yes. Well, y'all go play
At large schedule.
and your power in your little box, and then we'll play each other one time during the year. Well, we'll play the best 2 out of 3. Whoever wins 2 out of 3 during our
National
3-game
champs.
season, we'll play the winner
Oh.
of all you other people that want to go play LSU's and Tennessee, Mississippi State. Y'all go play and USC, all them guys. So, off our soapbox and on to a serious note. What are we gonna do now? What's on the list?
Oh,
You
I'm
want
going
to
to
do
talk
Tennessee?
about, yeah, let's
Let's
do
get some-
Tennessee.
Let's.
I've
do
studied so much
Tennessee.
on them, I know it by heart. All right, Tennessee Volunteers, 11-2 last year. I thought they had a great year. Matt did. I know Benton did. But they
Yeah.
lost 2 ball games. They lost to Georgia, who won it, and lost to South Carolina. And that's still an odd ball game. But, of course, they had Hendon Hooker, Jalen Hyatt, Cedric Tillman. They lost those 3. But now you've got they're loaded, Matt. They're absolutely loaded. Milton's a good quarterback. He threw for 970 yards in the short time he did quarterback. I don't know if he's as good as Hooker. Benton, what's your opinion on that?
My opinion on
If
Yes, sir.
Milton's as good as Hooker, I don't think he's going to be. He's going to be good.
look, Milton. To me, Milton has kind of been around the block. He's been around 5 or 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is a
And
5th-year
he's
senior.
been a career backup. I know he's got a huge arm.
Mm-hmm.
Any year that he's got, any kind of, reps,
Right.
he's been 65% or less.
Yeah.
passer. I mean, he's going to have to prove it to me. I mean,
Right.
now that doesn't mean I don't think Tennessee's going to win some games because I'm going to predict them to win some. But
Well, their backfield is loaded. They got Jalen Wright, 875 yards back. They got Jabari Small, 730 yards. He's back. They did lose Cedric Tillman. They lost Jalen Hyatt, but they got Squirrel White back, 3,500 yards receiving. Ramel Keaton, 560 yards receiving. And Brew McCoy, who caught 52 passes for 670 yards. Guys, that's 115 catches for 1,700 yards back at receiver and over 2,000 yards rushing back. So that's 3,700 yards they've got coming back. The offensive line, they got 3 starters back. They do have a new tight end. They lost their tight end. But defensively, they bring back 6 starters. I want y'all to guess what Tennessee's pass defense ranked out of 132 teams last year.
87.
Worse.
95.
127.
Okay.
127.
They
One of
better
the
figure
worst.
that out because, this tough schedule here. I mean, they got Austin Peay, Virginia, and UTSA, and UConn, and Missouri. I mean, gosh, wow, man. They playing a killer schedule. They better figure out that pass defense against that 154th ranked quarterback they got from Johnny Lamar's Piggly Wiggly and Grocery. Come on, man.
Yeah, it gets tough in October. They got a tough October, but we'll look at their schedule here in a second. They got 6 starters back on defense, guys. Aaron Beasley, you remember him, Benton, played at Heard County. He's back, leading
I do.
tackler. They lost Jeremy Banks, though, who was considered their best defender. They got all their D-line back. Both safeties. Jalen McCullough's a star in the making. But Heupel's not going to be calling the plays this year. He's got a new offensive coordinator. And do y'all think that'll make a difference? I mean, obviously, he's going to still have a say-so. It's not like he's just going to not sit there and never call a play.
I don't know. What do you think, Burns?
I think it's going to be the same Same style. They're going to want to, speed you up every now and then. You get a first down. They're going to want to go quick. They're going to try to hit the deep shots, run the ball. I mean, that's just they're going to play Heupel football.
Right. I think the offense is going to be fantastic. Fantastic. I mean, you got Small, you got Wright. What is it?
Aaron said, "Who's that behind Bird just casting a huge shadow?"
Oh,
it's my lights. It's the lighting in the room.
Oh, so you got Small and Wright back. You got McCoy, who's a great transfer from USC. Squirrel White's really good. They come on at the end of the year. I don't think they miss a beat offensively, personally. But I think the defense is still suspect. Matt, let's pull up our schedule here and look at it and see what we think. I already know what I got them predicted, but we can go over it together.
Well, podcast listeners, looks like they're going to start out the year September the 2nd at 11 o'clock on ABC. They will be playing the fearsome Virginia Cavaliers at Nashville, Tennessee.
Upset alert possible?
Coming September 9th, they will play Austin P. Governors, who Jacksonville State usually plays for homecoming. What a tough game that'll be at 4 o'clock on ESPN+.
Okay, that's a win.
Now, this is the one I talked about last week. I'm just saying, be careful. Be really careful. This little orange, the other orange team, be careful with that game right there.
Well, it's in the swamp.
Yeah.
And it's a 7 o'clock kick.
Yeah, right. It's in the swamp. That could be, as good as Tennessee was last year and as bad as Florida was last year. Florida nearly won that ball game.
I know. I rewatched it the other day, and
It's they could lose that. I don't think they'll lose to Virginia, but Virginia's not going to be terrible.
Is any of these mid-October, they're going to play South Carolina September 30th. I think that's I'm going to go ahead and say that's a win. It's at home.
Yeah, they're going to get revenge. That's a revenge game.
A&M, Bama, Kentucky will be the 14th, the 21st, and Halloween weekend of October. Is there any of those games that they have a chance of losing?
I think they lose 2 of them. One at least.
Okay, we'll suspect that they lose to.
I don't think they're going to beat Bama down there. That's also a revenge game for Bama. They're going to be fired up for that.
So we'll say that they lose to Bama. Do they come back the next week and go to Kentucky? Now, we did Kentucky, Birds. I don't know if you caught that one. They are not going to be slouchy. They got their offensive coordinator back. They went and got him a Super Bowl ring. And he's hooking up with Larry, this quarterback from North Carolina State. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
You know what, Matt? I'm going to go on and go out on a limb here and say, oh, Lord, I don't know if I can do it. Florida or Kentucky. I'm going to pick one of them to upset Tennessee. I just don't know which one. I want to have to wait and see.
Okay.
I've got, as far as Tennessee's schedule go, I've got 3 games circled. 2 you've already talked about, Florida, Kentucky, and I also had that Missouri game late in the year.
Yeah.
At Faro Field circled.
I don't think South Carolina or A&M is going to beat them. I think Kentucky or Florida may get them, and I think Georgia will get them, and I think Alabama will, not because I'm a Bama fan, because it's in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
And after last year, I mean, they're going to be ready for that game.
Is there any chance? I mean, I'm just, you know what I do. I mean, y'all been watching this show a little while. Dean, you've been on it with me for a little while.
That they beat you, yeah. 190.
Is Georgia or Florida, these 2 blue games, is there any chance that one of these, is there a chance
that they beat Georgia
or Florida?
I mean,
yeah, I think they definitely can beat Florida. I think they can beat Georgia. I don't think their defense is good enough. It's just the way their offense is. Their offense is going to score quick. The defense is probably not going to be great just because they're on the field so much. I don't think the offense is going to miss a beat. But Georgia just didn't seem to have a lot of trouble with them last year at all, did they, Benton?
They got some different. Now, Brock Bowers and Benton can go. He's going to come on next week and break all them down. But between Bowers and McCankey and those guys, they're playmakers, but they do have a new quarterback. And I'm definitely not a Bobo fan. I think he could mess up a wet paper bag out in the rain, and he could still find a way to mess it up.
Where's the game?
It's at Tennessee. Georgia goes to Tennessee.
That could definitely. I'm picking Tennessee to go 9-3.
Okay.
10-2 at best. I don't think they go 11-1. Do you see any way, Benton, they go 11-1?
No, sir. I think 10-2 at best, and that's what I had them shot at. I had them shot at 10-2.
Okay.
Losses to Alabama and Georgia.
Well, what we do, we don't predict an exact record. We kind of predict a range. So I'm going 9-3, 10-2. Anywhere they finish 8-4. Possible.
Yeah. If Bobby Petrino's got that A&M offense rolling,
that's exactly who I was fixing to circle. And this Kentucky game, I don't sleep on that game because I'm telling you, this coach.
No, Kentucky's not going to be bad. I do think Tennessee will be better on defense, but with their offense and the way they gain yards and score, what I read says people are wanting a better defense, but it's just hard to have a great defense when your offense scores so quick.
So, podcast people, we have circled Florida, A&M, and Kentucky for contingent flip games.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a win or loss. The Florida game again is at Gainesville, and A&M will be coming to Knoxville, but Kentucky will host this year in a rival game, the border war, I guess you could say. So those are three.
That's usually a good game. Kentucky wins that sometimes when they're not supposed to. I would not be shocked if Kentucky upset them. But I don't think Tennessee will be any better. I'm not saying that they're going to be a lot worse, but I don't think they might be as good as they were last year, but I do not think they'll be better.
See, that's they're automatic for 7 wins.
Oh yeah, they're.
I mean, just 7. By looking at South Carolina, UTSA, Austin Peay, Virginia, UConn, Missouri, and Vanderbilt. Now, Missouri, Vanderbilt, we've done Missouri. They just don't have the guys. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to win 8. They're not. I don't
8 at worst, right?
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what they do, they're going to win 8, right? Unless they have a bunch of injuries.
Well, this game being at Knoxville, the Georgia game, you make a little mark there. And the only reason I'm not doing this with Alabama, I just think after last year, I think Saban is really extra PO, and they've worked in an extra Tennessee day every day of the
I would
week.
think so. And at home too.
But if they do, then they do.
Oh, if they go to Tuscaloosa, and
then Alabama back to back.
So we all agree 9-3, 10-2.
I totally agree with that. Yep.
Yeah.
But not 11-1. We can get nobody on board on that, right?
I just don't like it.
No.
That would have to. It was one of those circle games.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about. They would have to.
They're going to have to upset Georgia or Alabama.
They'd have to beat. They're going to have to beat Florida and Kentucky to win 9, and then to win to be a 10 win, they're going to have to beat a Georgia or Bama or something.
Mm-hmm.
I would say they have a better shot at beating Georgia just because
of where it is.
Of Tennessee.
I will say this though: Tennessee's back. It looks like they're going to be pretty good again. It's been a long time since they've had 2 9-win seasons, and I think they're fixing to pull that off. So, I mean,
well, moving the
that's what Tennessee won back when we were growing up. We thought they were great. They usually won 9 or 10 ball games, did they not?
Yeah,
true.
Well, didn't they move? Their offensive coach was
Halsey.
He's the one that was the quarterback coach. So he already knows.
He's been there forever.
Yeah. He knows the quarterbacks. So he knows Milton. He knows what's going to happen. He knows what's going down.
Joey Halsey, he just moved him over. I mean, he'd been with him 15 years. I'm like Benton said, nothing's going to change.
No, not really.
That's the Tennessee wrap up 9-3, 10-2. I don't expect them to be 7-5 or 8-4. You're lying to yourself if you think they're going to go 7-5.
They're going to walk 7 wins. You just seen the UConn and those games, Missouri's and Vanderbilt's. We assume they'll probably when they're going to be the lower tier SEC teams. They just are.
Yeah.
So those games of Florida, Kentucky, maybe just kind of whisper they maybe could beat Georgia. You don't want to say it loud like they may beat Georgia because it's just not.
You don't go into. I don't go in. We don't go into work tomorrow and start claiming that.
No.
I'll say this. If they're pass defense is in the 100 plus like it was last year, they're not beating Georgia.
No.
See, I'm just so curious, and I know you know more about Beck.
Well,
I'm so curious, and there's a lot of quarterbacks we're going to be curious about. We ain't seen them play much.
No.
I mean, all we can know is like high school stuff or reporters on the ground with their feet on the ground, like, you know, down at the spring, at the camp, you know, at football practice that are seeing them play. But, you know, when you got 11 guys want to rip your face off and you're the 2-time back-to-back champions, you got a huge target on your back. Now, Kirby's going to sell their minds, and he'll get their minds right. But it's always that mind game, and Kirby's the greatest one to be there to fix that. So they get out of that clout space of we're being hunted.
Yeah.
He done it at Bama. He would always trick their head to say, no, we're not being hunted. Those titles are already been won. You're not defending. Saban would say, you're not defending anything. That trophy's in the case no matter if we lose every game next year.
Right.
This is a new team. This is a new day. It's time to go out there and eat. And that's what Kirby's going to do.
Yeah, did you see his mantra he said at SEC Media Days? Better never rest.
Yeah. If you want to do what the greats do, if you want to be great, you have to do what the great ones don't want to do. That was some of him and Saban's stuff. You know, we're not talking about just being a good average football team and going and win 10 games. That's a fantastic season. We're talking about being elite.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be elite, you got to do what the elite people, what they don't even want to do. You got to do that.
I really think
nobody. Oh, go ahead.
No,
I'm sorry. I was just going to say nobody's ever won 3 straight.
No,
yeah,
Bama almost did in 66, and they got robbed.
I think Beck is going to be a guy. I think Beck's going to be close to that 4,000 yard mark, and he's going to sling it. I think that's what he's going to do.
Yeah,
Bowers, McConkey, and the guys.
Oh yeah. No, they loaded at receiver. That's just 2. They've got 5 or 6.
Yeah, Vandy hadn't had a.
Yeah,
they ain't been to like a whole game.
I mean, I went back and watched some of the Missouri tape from last year, and I really like the guy they got from Missouri. He's quick. He runs sweeps and all that. You know, they like to.
You talking about the quarterback?
No, receiver from
Oh
Missouri.
yeah, they got that burden. Yeah. Oh, the one that come to Georgia.
Yes.
Yeah, love it. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the way he's quick in short spaces too.
Yeah, but with the receivers y'all got, Smith and Rosemary Saint, is that his name?
We don't want to hear about Minnesota. They three-peated 1930, 31, 32.
That sounds like
I
Mandy.
did hear that.
Somebody just texted me and said, "Why are y'all not talking about Tulane?" We're going to get to Tulane later on.
We're fixing to do them right now. Just hang on right there. Hit the subscribe button.
They're supposed to be good again. They were good last year. Best team they've ever had last year.
That's kind of Tennessee and what we, you know, we'll dive back in. Hey, you know, the season's not even started, and we've went through our summer breakdown, and we've went through just about everybody, and we're still gonna do Bama and Georgia next week. We're gonna talk about. I had to do Auburn. They're killing it. I had to talk about that.
Yeah.
Some other true freshmen to watch for this year. Watch list. Here's your watch list. All right, listeners, get you a pen. Jeff, get you a little pad there. Nick Harbor, South Carolina. He's a guy to be watching for.
I heard he's going to be good.
Yeah, 6'5", 225. The high school stuff area he played at was a pretty good region. Keep your eyes open at South Carolina. Michigan State, Baja Job, Jobe. He dreamed of playing in the NBA, but decided then to change his dreams to play in the NFL. He's a number 7 overall edge rushing guy. He's super fast, big, strong, fast. He's got it all. Number 3 guy here on the list is the Sertain Perkins, the linebacker at Ole Miss.
Yeah, he's supposed to start.
He's a edge, freaky rusher guy. He is a Mississippi title game, and Mississippi's high school title game. He rushed for 340 yards, 4 touchdowns, made 6 tackles, and had an interception.
The linebacker that's going to start for Ole Miss rushed for 340 yards in the state championship game?
That's what it's saying.
I didn't even know he ran the ball.
I didn't either. It told it on maybe on 3, or you can just scroll all the way down, go to his bio, and it tells stories about, hey, his high school state game.
Oh, they're expecting him to come in immediately and make an impact.
Perkins at Ole Miss. Remember that name. Josh Pate says he's a crown jewel. If Josh Pate says it, it's probably
he's the top linebacker in the country, freshman linebacker in the country.
Number 4 guy here, a Cedric Baxter, running back at Texas. I really, really like this guy. 5-star guy at Orlando, Florida. He's the number 1 overall running back in his class. Baxter, running back, Longhorns. And the last guy on here, just worth mentioning, there's a bunch more. These are just some guys from, Bama, Texas, South Carolina, whatever. Caden Proctor. Caden Proctor, 6'7", 330 pounds. He's the number 1 offensive tackle coming out. He's been predicted to be a first-round NFL pick already. They said the guy is atrocious at what he does and how he can handle it, says Huffman. He's a writer for 24/7 Sports, and he'll be playing probably tackle. He'll be one of the tackle positions at Alabama. Caden Proctor. 6'7", 330.
Proctor. I agree with Matt. Keep your eye on Perkins and Harbor. I've heard Harbor will start immediately for South Carolina. And Perkins, I mean, heck, I think he made an all-SEC team preseason team. He ain't even, I'm kidding, obviously, but he's supposed to start immediately.
Go look him up. Sertan Perkins. He played in high school football there in Mississippi. Go over and check him out.
People don't know this. High school football is very good in Mississippi.
Yeah.
And it's starting to show. I mean, you're starting to get a lot of players out of there. There's some good players in Mississippi and Louisiana.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
Louisiana, they say it's better than anywhere.
Well, it's like divisions.
Yeah.
Depends on what divisions. And I got some stuff about a Georgia high school quarterback right here. Coach Clark Lea. Let's just talk about him for a minute. Vanderbilt Commodores. Bird, you fired up about Vanderbilt this year? You going to put your Vandy hat on, or you – I mean –
Man, I always hope Vandy does good. I mean, I'm tired of seeing them
5-7.
Yeah, it's just
3-9.
I don't know what else you're going to do.
Well, you can't get the top players. That's already settled.
Okay, and that's a good point. And here's something about that. Lee, he was a baseball guy. He is from Nashville. Okay, he was born in 1981. He was a grad assistant, worked at UCLA, wound up being a defensive coach at Notre Dame from 18 to 20. They have 91 players. This is last year. This year they got 114. Okay, they have 85 scholarships like everybody else. Now, new positions. This Josh Adams guy, he's a Notre Dame ex-player, and he's going to be a quality control guy that Coach Lea knows very well from Notre Dame. And you see a lot of these colleges now, they're putting on these young guys to be like a big brother, kind of keep their pulse on the team. Like, Jaheim other night, he was out running around and had a bunch of girls' numbers, and, I'm trying to talk to him, mentor him. So they're keeping these guys around. Hey, Ricky's down there drinking too many beers. I had to go there and talk to That's a good idea. Now, they did beat Kentucky and Florida last year.
Yes, they did.
Okay, so his first year in it, he does do that. Coach Lea says he is bringing in consistency. This is the word. I watched 2 interviews with him, and he talks about consistency, and he talks about we must be able to do more with less, and we know that. 2020 practice, they didn't even have any AC in the building.
Oh, gosh.
The ADs and the money has not been pumped into Vanderbilt. It never really has.
No.
And you cannot even consider to think about running with Georgia and Bama and LSU. You're just not going to. Somebody's got to be able to spend some money on this, okay? 56-0 lost to Tennessee, 55-0 to Georgia, 55-3 against Bama.
Oh, my gosh.
But there's a few guys hanging around down there. We have one young guy. He's a senior this year on the team from Gadsden City, Alabama. Dane?
Yeah, DeRicky Wright.
DeRicky.
Done well.
DeRicky, we hope you're listening and watching. We're proud of you. And DeRicky is a head hunting machine. He's going to be playing back at some safety or some corner. It depends on how they roll out that defense. CJ Taylor is a name to remember. In his junior season, he was Defensive Player of the Year. They've also added a fullback to the roster, Cole Spence, and a Justin Ball. This Ball kid's going to be a super stud tight end type guy. That's where they're kind of hurting at. And if you're going to run that ball the way they like to do it, it's tight end based, just like Georgia. Georgia and Bama, they like that, that kind of style. He also made 10 tackles versus Florida, playing at Warren County High School. He was Mr. Tennessee football. This is definitely somebody that you want to have on your defense. He's going to be playing next to DeRicky. Talking about C.J. Taylor. Mr. QB threw for 3,000 yards, 2,000 rushing, and 1,000 points in basketball. The first around Tennessee to do that.
Say that again.
He threw for 3,000, rushed for 2,000, and scored 1,000 points in basketball. C.J. Taylor. He will be partnered beside DeRicky in this defensive backfield for Vanderbilt. Now, cornerbacks, Savion Riley is a kid from Kennesaw, Georgia. He's going to try to get in, get some playing time. Defensive line-wise, Nate Clifton, he's going to be in. And then the Cosmo, he's going to be another guy looking to play. Osuma is the big guy, the Osuma guy.
Osuma, yeah.
He's gone. I don't know how good they're going to be. That front 3 or 4 is going to be spotty, but Barr, he's going to be a good linebacker to be around there hanging in. And then the Patterson brothers, they are back. But this Prince Covey, he transferred from Notre Dame. Got another Notre Dame guy coming in. Now, offensive line-wise, they lose 1. They did add 5 on signing day for offensive line, but they only lost 1. They lost 1 lineman. They're going to be really good up front.
Depth.
Yeah.
And they have depth.
Yeah. I mean, y'all know as well as I do, you got to have a good O-line.
Yeah, that's how you win football games.
That's how you win. I mean, if
they can hold up and let the guy I'm going to talk about here in just a second, if they can give him a shot, it's definitely going to be worth it. Now, they lost a ton of guys on that defensive back, but we've talked about Taylor, we've talked about DeRicky, but B.J. Anderson's going to be a guy that's going to get some playing time on the field. Russell and Taylor and DeRicky are going to have to play big. They're going to have to be smart. They can't get in these different packages and get confused. They need to be talking, making sure they're in the right sets so they can cover and try to beat a Florida and a Kentucky again this year, and try to stay close and at least play with Bamas and Georgias or whatever. Not be 55-0, maybe like 36-13. Can you hang with them a little?
They hadn't lately.
No. They just don't have the guys.
They hadn't lately, and no, they don't.
They just don't.
I want to interject right quick and mention the name a guy by the name of Martell Hyatt. He'll be a freshman at Vandy this year, number 25 from Rome, Georgia. Played for the Rome Wolves.
Okay.
So I knew he went there.
Receiver, cornerback, punt return, kickoff return, did a little bit of everything.
What's his name?
Martell Hyatt.
Hyatt. Okay.
Did he?
I'm not sure how
he played at Rome last year, right?
He did, yeah.
Okay. He's a true freshman. Okay.
175. So.
And there's also a Harris kid that played at Etowah. He's also over there too. Justin Harris. He played in 2 games. His senior year was last year, so he's graduated. He played 7 games in 21. And in 20, he had a big game against LSU that 2020 LSU year. So Justin Harris was going to give a shout out to him too. And DeRicky, of course, he led the team with 7 breakups and 50 tackles last year.
Wow.
Okay. So we're looking for our hometown hero guy to play well. Also, Hyatt, hope he has a great season too. Depth, consistency, and toughness. Those are the things that they're looking for. Wide receiver room holds up for Vanderbilt for the 23 season. They got top 4 pass catchers back.
Wow. That's good.
Senior, Will Shepard, 9 touchdowns, 8 or 900 yards. Junior, the Skinner kid, he had 2 touchdowns with 300, 6'2", 205. The Skinner kid is big enough. He can make plays on the ball. Sophomore, the McGowan kid, he's like a McConkey, 5'8", 185. He's a state champion in the 100-meter from South Carolina. It is said by Coach that he is a impact slot guy. So he's going to be a McConkey-esque type player. And also Carter is another sophomore. He is another guy to keep your eye on. He's going to be able to make plays for Vanderbilt. Also McAllister, sophomore, Walker, the freshman, Humphrey, a freshman, Sherrill, and also Parrish. This Parrish kid and this Humphrey kid, these are 2 young guys that were big-time players out of high school to be thinking about. Now, the Davis kid went to Kentucky. Oh, my God. Man,
they're excited about that.
Yeah, he's good, man.
He had 1,000 yards.
So what do you do? I guess, Pat Smith, and there's a Chase Gillespie, the new guy, Shadrack Alexander, and then, of course, another safety guy they got moved in. I got his name right here, Benton Hyatt. I wrote down here at the bottom. I watched him on an interview. They said this Hyatt kid could see early playing time.
I mean, I'm glad he went to Kentucky if he did transfer, but that hurt them. I mean, he was 1,000-yard back.
I'm just kind of curious how, some of this is going to lay out. Coaching wise, this is the first time. This was a point that was made at media day. For Vanderbilt, they have a lot of turnover. You have young graduate assistants usually coming in, being defensive or offensive coaches. They work a year, get a little time on their belt, chop it up, and then they're off to be an analyst at Bama or Georgia.
Right. They move on.
So, but this is the first time, Burge, in a while, for years, that they've had their defensive coaches
kept their staff. Yeah.
Okay. They led the SEC. Now listen to this. Nick Howell, defensive coach, they led the SEC in defensive touchdowns. His linebackers, Ojerai, led the SEC with 9 tackles a game last year. That's 3 years straight. This player has led the team. Also, Joey Lynch, the offensive coach, he's a quarterback guy. He is the 12th fewest picks in the nation, the fewest in the SEC.
Wow.
So, I mean, I'm trying to build up Vandy before we look at their schedule. Offensive line only allowed 1 sack a game. They were in the top 10 in the Power 5 teams last year. Coached.
And that offensive line's back.
Yes.
Wow.
This guy coached at Ball State in 2014, and he broke rushing records, had 5,000 yards rushing. Jawan Edwards. He is and I got in a rabbit hole. I always do. I get in one player. He went to the draft and wound up not getting drafted, and he is actually on Facebook, and I befriended him, and he friended me back on there. He works with kids up there, I think up north somewhere. This guy run for 5,000 yards at Ball State.
And he's going to be Vandy's
he's their
go-to.
He's their running back coach. He's helping.
I mean, that's going to be a big help for them.
Yeah. So he loves working with kids, found him on there. And last but not least, AJ Swan, 6'3", 230 pounds, Canton, Georgia, 7A, touchdown passer of the year, 2025A player of the year, East Cobb League baseball star. As a young man, started playing football at the age of 5. AJ Swan threw for 7,200 yards, 67 touchdowns, 25 picks. He averaged 2,500 yards a game, sophomore to senior year. He played a little bit his freshman year. He threw for 7,200 yards.
In 3 years.
Canton, Georgia. Played at the Cherokee Warriors over there in Georgia. I don't know anything about them.
7A Benton?
Do y'all know?
Cherokee?
Yeah, I mean, there's never been a Canton high school, has there?
No,
I don't think so.
It's Cherokee Warriors. They in Canton.
I didn't know it was a 7A. I mean, I don't know much about that area. It's not far from Cartersville.
But it said 7A, Canton, Georgia, but then it says 2025A player.
They probably bumped up to 7A by now.
Okay. But is that a region Burge? If he threw for 7,200 yards, God dang.
Yeah, in 3 years.
That's
probably a tough game. That'd be out there with Altoona and all them, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Cherokee a few years ago, it seemed like Cherokee was loaded, so that's probably.
There's so many teams up in that area. I don't even know who they would be in the same region. I mean,
it is 7A. It's region 5, 7A. Cherokee, Kennesaw Mountain, North Cobb, Osborne, Walton, and Wheeler.
Well, that's tough ball then.
Yes, sir.
That's like playing mini college football.
Okay.
That's 7A. Yeah, there's probably, 2,000 to 3,000 kids in the schools.
Oh my gosh! See, that just don't seem like a huge county. I mean, Canton don't seem like a huge town.
Yeah.
I'm playing here. I don't know what I'm doing. In other words, if he threw for 7,200 yards,
he's pretty good.
He's quality. AJ Swan. So that 2020 class, obviously, he was player of the year, East Cobb Little League baseball. And one of his dad's friends said, golly, he throws a baseball hard. Have you ever thought about playing football? So he was born in 2004, I guess.
Rest is history.
Younger than Marcus. So, yeah, I mean, kind of like the Trevor Lawrence story. Said I can't get him off of a skateboard, and you got him throwing a ball, and he's like, man, he can throw it. He's kind of got a natural arm. You know,
Yeah.
the next thing you know, he's playing NFL football.
Starting for the did well great last year.
Yeah.
In the 2020 reclass, Cherokee had 2,816 students.
Good God.
What?
Yeah.
You'd have to go to school in shifts.
we go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The other guys go Tuesday and Thursday.
I got third shift tonight. We got practice after.
Tuesday, Thursday, we go 4 blocks. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we go 2 blocks.
So, Brenton, think of Chattooga.
Oh, boy.
3 times.
3
times
more. Yeah.
That's 6 times Cherokee County's probably.
You gonna teach third shift math there?
Yeah, I'll do. I got second shift history.
Yeah. I don't know. It's no telling how big the campus is. I mean, it's got to be like Jacksonville Staters. I know more than 2,800 kids go to Jack State.
Got me curious now.
But it's got to be huge.
I'm gonna pull it up and see.
Turkey, WA,
2,800.
That's what I said.
RO.
Wow.
School in Canton, Georgia.
Marietta Highway, Canton, Georgia.
Oh my Lord!
I bet their campus is amazing.
If I can get there's the.
Oh, look at this field.
Wait a minute, what?
That's pretty nice for a
Turkey
high school.
Oh, I see
school.
it. I got the overview. This sucker's huge.
The campus, the campus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it'd have to be.
Okay, let's do.
If you tried to put it in Chattooga school, you'd have to do the shifts like we were talking about. Can I swap with somebody? Do swing shift. You work third 1 week, first,
There you go.
then second. You found it, didn't you?
I did.
Are you gonna put it up? I'll close this.
We just found the stadium. Look, oh yeah, that's pretty big.
That's crazy.
I guess that's why we never hear anything about them, right, Ben? It's not really a long way off.
No, it's really not a long way off.
No, what's in an hour and 15 minutes? Maybe.
Yeah, just at Canton, yeah, probably an hour and 15 to an hour and a half. Yeah. So there's Cartersville there, so it's not far. 20.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Ben, let me ask you something. What high school is in Ackworth?
Ackworth?
Yeah, I mean, I've gone through Ackworth a lot. It's a beautiful town, nice town. But what school is in Ackworth? Is there a high school there? I don't really know. Is that North Cobb or?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who would be considered. Let's see here.
It just seems like there's a lot of towns anymore where there's a lot of consolidation in Georgia, you know, and you go through a lot of towns and there's not a school in the towns, you know, not a high school. And I don't think there is one in Ackworth, but that stadium, look at that now.
Let's see here. Ackworth. These are all considered Cobb County.
So I guess it probably will be North Cobb or one of the Cobbs.
Yeah, Altoona as well.
Okay.
North Cobb and Altoona. That's the only two that I see.
This place was showing off their field.
That's Cherokee. That's it.
Well, y'all switch with me next week. I don't want to work second.
Well, the bleachers don't. The bleachers don't. I mean, the bleachers are appropriate to Cherokee County out here. I mean, you got here's the band area. And you got fans, and you got your seated, alum seats or whatever. Then you got Vista.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks just like. I mean, it's still 100 yards, but I
wonder. It's nice field.
I'm pretty sure not too long ago they played one of our local teams up here. I think it might have been Rome.
It's just amazing how unfamiliar. I guess that's why I'm so amazed by this. That I am, or maybe y'all are. I'm just not familiar with them at all.
Yeah, Cartersville beat them 35-0 last year.
Okay,
which doesn't surprise me.
Well, that's not. Is that even a? Do you feel bad when you get beat 35-0 by Cartersville?
No. Rome beat them 27-7 and 21. So I mean,
but the point we were trying to prove is what Matt was saying. This guy's played some good ball.
I'm out on third shift next week, guys. I can't get the history. Is it okay if somebody? I need this Sherry. Miss Sherry can come in and get third shift.
That's a
hey, you work third shift at a school, you'd never get a sub. You could never be out.
No, that's it's third shift anywhere. Nobody can be out, or you just limp.
I mean, how do you call somebody and say, "Hey, can you get me tomorrow? What time? 11 to 8." I mean, nobody's.
They're gonna play this little ad here. We're gonna play it. We've gotten a rabbit hole, and I don't even care.
All right, we can get off of it. That's
well,
fine.
I don't. I mean, it's interesting.
Well, I mean, it's just interesting that somewhere that big. I don't know. These schools are just getting so big around us, Benton. I mean,
Bird, take this and play for us, Birds. No, this is just a video from. Hit us on a play-by-play here. All right, drop it back in the pocket. Colt McCoy back. He scrolls that to his right. He throws over the middle to Julio Jones. Jones breaks one up the side.
That guy was about a foot and a half shorter than Julio.
Lad McConkey breaks one up here.
Now, Lad McConkey, he played at North Murray. It's a big school, isn't it?
Is it?
No, North Murray's 2A. They're probably about.
I'm trying to get a size.
800-900.
I'm trying to get a size on the kids just kind of see what they look like. This is where AJ Swan played at, people, if y'all are curious.
Oh, I thought that was Chattooga for a second.
That looks like a middle schools. I mean, I swear they look like little bitty kids, man.
Is it the junior high team? I think
it's gotta be. Well, no, it says HS. It says HS.
Well, but
there's no way. I've seen these dudes play, and there's no way. I don't know.
I don't want to play their middle school.
Chattooga and Cherokee. Let's line that up.
Can we go? Can we get up in that middle school league?
No.
It did say junior over here on the thing when you crawl back out of this.
Oh, okay.
See up here, but right here, see Cherokee Junior Warriors.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got
it.
Okay. That's their stadium, but still, God, what a throw!
Yeah,
I mean, the 40-yard run.
Jeez, these teams in Georgia are so loaded. Is Adairville still huge? Now they're huge, aren't they?
They're big. We're not as far as classification. They're not, but across the line of scrimmage, no. Adairsville is Adairsville's 3A. Yeah.
Alabama's one of the few states, one of the very few, and maybe Mississippi that have not. Alabama may be the only one that hasn't consolidated a lot of schools.
Yeah, it's going to happen. As soon as that NIL, and I ain't going to get started on that because we want to look at Vanderbilt's schedule.
Yeah, let's look at this big Vandy schedule.
We got on, listeners, we got on an AJ Swan kick. We're just so curious about this school that he played at Cherokee Warriors over in Canton, Georgia area. They're 7A. Again, this kid threw for 7,200, 67 touchdowns, only 25 picks his career, averaged 2,500 yards a game. He only played 3 years. Because his freshman year, they had some stud guy that he didn't get to touch the field till his sophomore year. So let's roll this bean footage over here.
Let's check out this schedule.
Okay, they're going to open up with Hawaii.
They get to go out there?
No.
Oh.
They're going to play Hawaii. We'll assume that's
I think they'll win that.
Be a win. Alabama A&M.
Definitely.
I think they'll win that. And Wake Forest. Yes, I think they're down.
I don't know. What y'all think? The Wake Forest did lose their quarterback.
Yeah, I'm not on them this year. I'll just make a quick run through. Oh, there's old Idle.
That's 3-2.
God darn it, Ben. They're going to lose them off week.
Don't ever bet against Idle.
They got 2 off weeks. How in the world are they?
How'd they swing that? I want that schedule.
That ain't bad, is it?
I guess the main question I want to ask you, Matt, do they get any SEC wins?
So that's where we'll start. So we'll say they're going to 4 or 5. I'm sorry. They got 4 wins for sure in them. Now let's go through the conference. So last year they wound up winning. They were 5-7 last year. Now let's dig into the meat. They are home for. Well, they're home for Kentucky and Missouri.
I don't think they beat Kentucky again. Missouri, yes, possibly. I think I did Missouri. Missouri's not bad, but they're not. I picked them to go 5-7, but I think that could be an upset. I think Vanderbilt can beat them.
So you think they beat
I think they beat Missouri. I don't think they beat Kentucky.
Okay, we'll do a W for conference win.
Now I think you can stop there because that's all the wins they're getting.
Come
I
on,
don't.
Birch. That's 5.
Okay, I'm going to ask one more, and I hope it's not offensive to anybody.
Oh boy, here we go. Good to beat Georgia. I mean, you never know. Them dogs may not show up that day in Nashville.
Can they upset Auburn and South Carolina?
I don't know. No. I'm going to
You
say
don't
no.
think so?
I don't think so.
Not even one of them?
Well, you're going to Williams-Brice, and I just think Auburn by that time is going to be probably a better team. Depending on who's playing quarterback, I don't know.
Go 6-6? Then we think they can go 6-6?
How?
I'm thinking 5-7.
I don't see it.
I know, Matt, you're thinking 5-7, 4-8, right?
There's only
I'm thinking 4-8. I think Wake Forest will beat them.
really
I'm going to give you this. I'm going 3-9 to 5-7.
Burge.
I'll go 4-8 to 6-6. That's the range.
So here's the toss game. Is there a chance?
I'm not high on South Carolina.
Well, they're in trouble, man. They've had so many people move around. Is there a chance they could beat? We're giving them a win over Missouri. I don't know why that girl keeps popping up on there. It's one of Dean's girlfriends, I guess, popping up on. Florida. Why does it keep doing that?
I don't think they beat Florida
Gosh, what a
again.
stretch.
I don't think they beat Florida and Kentucky again.
I mean, just look at this stretch here. That's tough.
My prediction app gives them a 31% chance to beat Missouri.
Oh no.
But there could be an upset there.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I think they're going to upset somebody, at least one. They're not going to be favored in any SEC game, I wouldn't think.
But they're going to. So we'll say this. They're going to go.
I think they'll go 4-8, 5-7.
They're going to go home to play their first conference game as 3-0.
4-0.
Oh yeah, 4. I forgot about Hawaii.
I got them losing at Wake Forest.
I don't know if they'll win. That's why I got them 4-8 to 5-7. Wake Forest could beat them definitely.
So where's the other win?
I'm thinking Missouri, maybe Auburn. I mean,
With all these people, Auburn's
South Carolina or Missouri or Auburn.
With all these guys that Auburn's added,
Yeah.
you remember back months ago, I was like, you need to be careful. It's a trap game for Auburn. Well, they got some dudes rolling around campus now. I don't think that's going to be a trap game anymore.
And it's late in the year. I think they're going to have their stuff together by then.
Auburn still got it. They better find them a quarterback because Ashford's terrible.
What do you think?
That may be a
Well, they got Thorne, don't they?
Thrawn,
Yeah.
But I'm just not, and they're high on him because he's Auburn, and it's because they hate Alabama. So anybody that's at Auburn, he's great and wonderful. But if anybody comes to Bama, they're garbage, and what a joke, Alabama. That's just how it is. That's the fan base, isn't it? That's just what you have to deal with, and I'm okay with it. So, is there any games that Vandy can upset here?
Only ones I think personally, Matt, would be South Carolina, Auburn, and Missouri. I don't think they can beat Florida or Kentucky again. I don't think they're going to go and beat Ole Miss down there. And I don't think they're going to beat Georgia and Tennessee.
I don't think they're going to Williams-Brice and winning that game. I think that's a loss.
But I'm just saying that's the only 3 they can. I think maybe one of those. I don't know which one. Yeah. I think they end up 4-8, 5-7.
I'll give them one of these games. They could upset Missouri or South Carolina, maybe. But it's at South Carolina, and I've done said, man, when they turn that Sandstorm music on and it goes nuts, I want to go there so bad.
Well, obviously South Carolina's probably going to be a little better than we're thinking. They were last year.
All right, and from December 2nd to Vanderbilt Commodores will be preparing for the SEC championship game. 3:00, CBS.
Against Mississippi State.
Against the
Georgia Tech.
Well,
Hey,
conference.
Georgia Tech. They used to be. Did y'all know that?
Yep, sure.
Yeah.
Now, when was this? In the 70s?
Yeah, they left in the for Bear got it going.
And that's when Vanderbilt come in, right? I mean, am I correct on that?
33, I think is what I read. Vanderbilt.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
So
33.
Georgia Tech, I was thinking it was in the 70s. It was a lot farther back than that.
They left in the 60s, I think.
Okay.
But there's contingents for them to come back. I've heard that. But Georgia, now Burge can accommodate us if we're wrong. He knows more there. A lot of Georgia people don't want Georgia Tech back in the SEC. I think it would add far as academically, it'd be good. Other sports like softball, and I'm not joking here, the men's polo, softball, water polo stuff. I mean,
they're great.
Yeah.
Does Alabama have water polo?
Like legitimate rowing teams, and I'll say softball again. That Georgia Tech girls softball is good.
Do you have a problem? Do either one of y'all have a problem with them coming back in the conference?
No,
I don't think so.
It doesn't make any difference to me. I think the reason why is because they get to play them every year, and that you're not guaranteed that, if they do come back in the conference.
Oh yeah, yeah, they'd have to fix it. I think they would Bama and Tennessee or something.
They've had a lot of great teams in in the time period we've all watched football. Several. Georgia Tech's had several.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, in the late '80s, they were. Yeah, they were a run. They were.
And when that with the bone, with the option.
Yeah. They've also had some quarterbacks to throw it out of bounds on 4th down. Though.
Yep.
Reggie
Who
Ball.
did that?
Reggie Ball.
Yeah.
Anyway,
did he?
I shouldn't have called him out.
He threw it out of bounds on 4th down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that.
Oh gosh.
I think I just remembered it because I'm a Georgia guy, and that was kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, a buddy of mine I worked with over at Georgia at the Brickyard over there. He knew them, and he talked about it too. He thought it was funny.
I went to a game there one time with Coach Knapp from Galesville, and it was weird.
5-7.
It was different. It wasn't like being at a Alabama game or a Georgia game. It was the people were calm.
No, they didn't get fired up.
No, and they were good then. It was a good game. It was just a different crowd. It was just different. You going 5-7? I'm going 4-8 to 5-7.
So they're not going. They look. Coach says they want to go bowling. They want to go bowling so bad. There's just no chance, is there?
No.
Well, at best, we had them going bowling, but that was just 6-6.
They're going to have to beat Missouri
and South Carolina or Auburn.
Yeah.
Or Kentucky.
Yeah.
They're not going to beat Georgia and Tennessee. We've decided that. Can they beat Florida? Florida's not.
I went through them last week. They're going to be okay, but they're not going.
They're not going to be there yet.
They were one of our teams that we thought that may be underhyped. So the name of this show, our entitled by the crayon picture I built, hype, over or under, is Tennessee. So the last question we can ask before we get off is who's over or underhyped, Tennessee or Vanderbilt? Is Tennessee overhyped? And I don't think Vanderbilt is underhyped because I think they're just going to win 5 or 6 at best.
Man, I did say last week Tennessee was overhyped, but I'm not so sure anymore. I don't think so. They lost Hooker, but they're loaded. They're loaded offensively.
Now defensively,
it should be better. They got some transfers in. They got a couple guys from BYU, and I know BYU's not they're not bad.
And, but that's not
Well, I know, but.
Come on, Birds, tell him. BYU. Got transfer.
Well, now they say this linebacker from BYU's the real deal.
We got a prospect in from Nevada State.
New Mexico State.
2-star guy.
But they're claiming both of them's going to help. And remember this name, Pili. P-I-L-I, Pili. He's the one from BYU. They said he'll start immediately. Immediate impact.
Oh, yeah. Vanderbilt, all SEC punter probably too. Matt.
Well, see, that makes a difference. Field position.
Vandy he's supposed to be an All-American punter. Seriously. He's the only one I remember hearing some other teams talk about was Vanderbilt having a great punter. Kid named Matt. I just remember his name was Matt.
Great punter.
Do they have anybody on the preseason All-American list or watch list or anything?
No, not that I saw. You're talking about Vandy?
Yeah.
No.
Well, if DeRicky has another good year again, he's definitely he had 55 tackles, 3 picks, 10 tackles versus South Carolina and Ole Miss, 4 solo tackles in that game, 2 interceptions, a pick 6 versus North Illinois. In 21, he only played 8 games, and 2020 played 4 games. So, I mean, those are good numbers.
He could definitely be an all conference.
Yeah, I mean, if he has another 60 tackle season and he led in knockdowns, and if he winds up again with if he has a 7 or 8 tackles a game, hey, look for DeRicky, CJ Taylor, and the Hyatt kid that's from Rome there. If Hyatt gets to come in, he's younger. If he gets some playing time,
maybe all right. All right.
I went through all that stuff and said how good their darn coaches was, and told you offensive quarterback coach, 12th fewest picks in the nation, fewest in the SEC. He had a linebacker guy. They led the SEC in defensive touchdowns, and we're still only going to pick them to win 5 games.
Yeah, I just can't do it. But I don't think he loses his job over that.
Man, listen, the thing is with him, and I've watched some interviews when I was digging in on him, it seems to me that he has the AD involved with the football.
Okay.
They're spending money. They had some new helmets. They're buying into some new state-of-the-art, those helmet bag things that go over the helmets that keep up with stuff. Nutrition bars, like places for the kids to eat, because they're just on the bottom line. I mean, if you're not going to spend the money, and that's what he's saying, we've got to, at least if we're going to make a stab at this guy, if you're going to hire me, and I'm going to do this, then dadgummit, I'm going to do, that's the way I am. If I'm going to do it, then we're going to do it all right, or I'm just not going to do it at all. He's from Nashville, guys. He played baseball up there.
Carclea.
Yeah, and his dad was part of the college and stuff. So this guy bleeds this gold. He's a Commodore. He's bought in, and he's got the ADs in believing. So if they'll spend some money, get a nutrition program, he said, we got to be consistent every year. It's not going to happen this year, but consistently, we've got to build a program. We got to have the hot tubs. We got to have the indoor facility. 3 years ago, they didn't have AC. Ooh. That cannot happen.
No.
You will never get a kid. They're not going to come up there and play.
Have y'all ever been on their campus? I mean, where is it? I know it's in Nashville. Was it right in downtown, or is it?
That's the problem. That is a huge problem of why. Of course, when they built the stadium, and I don't know.
There wasn't a town there. Probably,
1891. Right? I mean,
Nashville was the size of Galesville.
Yeah, it really was. So, but now, and there's other stuff to do there in the town.
Yes, there is.
So that's what's hurt the football program. There's so many other things to do there. And people want to come there and spend money, and the football team's just not been real good, and it's not the thing they do. They're more an academic school because of William Vanderbilt, okay, the greatest one engineers that ever lived. The school's named after him. So geographically, it hurts them. Their timing and joining with the SEC, it's just been a bad storm. And I like Coach Lea. I think he's going to do a good job. Man, I hope they go bowling, and we all do.
Yeah, I would like to see them. I mean, I'd like to see them be competitive. I don't like Bama beating them. I mean, I'm not saying Nick Saban did wrong, but beating them 59-0, 55-3.
Kirby's the one who went over and poured it on.
What'd they beat them?
55-0.
Oh, 55. Yeah, Bama just beat them 55-3.
Come on, Birds. Let's let them kick a field goal. Talbert, what are you doing? Florida is 3rd in recruiting. Yes, they are for 2024 class. They are 14th and 17th for this class that they're putting on the field. Let's see. Y'all update me, not give me the Vols their own show.
Who is that? Logan Brooks.
God,
we got to talk about the Vols. They're relevant.
Oh yeah, and no, he's being sarcastic. Yeah, we give y'all good coverage for Tennessee. Tennessee, they'll be as whatever 9 or 10 games again. We think they'll do it. Joe Milton throws 3,800 yards minimum this year.
3,800 minimum. Oh, guys, that's who said that?
He's just a fan. He's a guy that stopped by the show here, a new guy. I would assume 3,000 is a good number.
I'm not knocking 3,800. That's just extremely high.
We just there's the sample size again. You know, was it him I gave the example last week?
Yeah.
The sample size thing, a theory.
I like it. Could he throw for 3,800?
I don't think so. There's not enough.
That's
like going and eating.
That's $290 a game.
I ain't gonna use food because that'd be a bad example, Birds. If I go to Five Guys and I had a burger, it's like, man, it's one of the best you ever had. But I need another one to make sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but they're $11 a piece.
But so our sample size for Milton is just not large. 3,800 is a large number. Maybe 2,800 would be a fair guess.
I'll give him 33. I don't think he could do 33.
Because
that's $250 a game.
Now you got to remember who he's going to be playing, and we just went through their schedule, and Bama's defense is going to be one of the best in the conference this year. They're going to be top ranked guys on defense. Both their ends are All-American 5 stars, both from year before and year before last. Safeties and corners, Georgia's going to be as always. Kirby's going to lock the guys down. So can he scramble and run? Yeah, he can. So
yeah, he can run. He might have 3,800 total offense. But that's good. We'll go under, and he can say over, throws over for over 3,800. Yeah.
It's just south of downtown. Jeff said he's been on the campus down there. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's just in a bad location. It is.
What was Hooker on pace to throw for 3,800 last year? Probably, wasn't he? Maybe.
Yeah.
That's a lot of yards, man. That is a lot of yards.
Total yards, if you want to count his rushing in with that.
Yeah, he might get that.
I could go along with that. He may throw for 25 and rush for 700.
So, they averaged about 530 or 40 yards a game last year. So.
Yeah.
I mean, they can move the ball.
Now, that's with receivers catching and running backs running the ball. And, and who's going to be their stud running the ball really this year?
Well, they just got Small and Wright. Same one, same two. They're good.
They are. Talking about Squirrel?
No, Right.
Oh, okay.
Squirrel's outside.
Okay.
No, I meant Squirrel White.
But they'll bring.
I know it sounded like I was saying there's squirrels outside. No, Squirrel's outside receiver.
Yeah, but I like how they bring him. He'll bring him in motion when he had Hyatt there. But see, that would
he's going to take Hyatt's place.
That would create those one-on-one matchups where you can get Hyatt because you would bring Squirrel across in those motions, and that's what Heupel's so good at, man. He disguises it, and it's not fancy what he does. Guys, he's just doing a re-edition of Gus Malzahn at Auburn when he had Cam. Go fast and hurry, catch the defense out of position, and make a linebacker somewhere have to cover one of these receivers.
Well, I'll go on and claim it right now. They will have the best offense in the conference. Y'all going?
You mean numbers wise?
Numbers wise.
Benton? My first reaction.
Possible.
No, you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, let me think some more.
What do you think, Matt?
First reaction answer, just to answer quickly, I would say no.
Mm-hmm.
And here's why I think that. Because on the back of my mind, I'm thinking about Rogers at Mississippi State. He's going to throw it.
Right.
The offensive coordinator is going to be crazy at Mississippi State. They're going to throw the ball deeper this year. Rogers can throw it.
He can.
And also, we've talked about these guys at Missouri, all those guys coming back. And I didn't say we're going to win a bunch of games, but
yeah. Well, Ole Miss is going to put up some yards. Whoever Lane Kiffin coaches, they seem to gain yards very easily.
He don't have a quarterback problem.
No,
because Dart and Sanders can both light it up, and then they got Junkins to run the ball.
You can swab them in every play. Dart, go, just run them back in, run plays in.
But I would say I don't think it'll be Alabama or Georgia will be your higher.
No. Defensively, they'll be the top ones.
I think they'll probably be the least, allowing the least amount of points, probably.
Yes, definitely.
So Tennessee, Ole Miss.
I would say Tennessee and Ole Miss. But
LSU.
Yeah. I don't know if LSU. Well, we're going to find out a lot about them when we talk about them next week. So I don't know. It's going to be
last year LSU was 24th in points per game.
24th in the
nation.
Yeah, I was talking about. I was actually talking about yards, which does not necessarily mean points. I just figured Tennessee They led last year, right?
Because
Are you talking about total yards?
Total yards.
Yeah, they were number one at 525 and a half a game.
Yeah.
Who was next? Ole Miss.
Washington. Well, you talking about just in the SEC?
Oh, did the Tennessee lead the nation last year?
yeah.
They did 525.
They had all
Wow.
those receivers and stuff, man. Geez, they ain't nobody. They was burning. They was smoking people.
I did not know that. I just meant they'd lead the conference.
Total yards, yeah. Georgia was the next highest at 501 a game, followed by Ole Miss at 496.
I knew Ole Miss averaged a bunch.
Alabama at 477.
I don't look for that.
We
to be
don't
better.
seem for that. We don't think that'll happen.
That'll be same as this
Arkansas
year.
at 470 a game.
I don't look for that to be as good.
No.
I mean, they lost too much. I mean, they still got Rocket and KJ, but Jefferson,
Mhm.
but they lost a lot.
Good old LSU 28th at 453. Let's see, Florida 38th. I'd say that's going to go down.
And Kentucky was like in the hundreds, wasn't it?
Yeah, I remember doing them. It's like 101.
Yeah, I think it's way down here.
Kentucky, look for Kentucky and Florida to really jump the gains on the offensive numbers. And
Yes.
look for Bama and Arkansas to kind of stay in that 420 mark. I would say.
Go down a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, Kentucky was 116 at 324.
Ooh.
Vanderbilt
You got to
was
average
up
400. You got to average 400.
Oh yeah, in these days and times.
Yeah,
you
got
better.
to.
You better be over 400.
You better be over 400. You're absolutely right. You better be about 425.
And if you really want to make a smoke show and you want to win 10 games, you better be 500. If you want to win 10 games, you better have a 520 offense.
Well, see, look how good the teams did. Who was that again, Benton?
There was only
Tennessee.
6 teams that were over 500. Oregon,
Last year.
Georgia, UCLA, USC, Washington, and Tennessee.
And none of those teams were bad.
West Coast,
No.
and of course, Lane is a West Coast guy.
UCLA averaged 500 yards a game last year.
503.
They don't play no defense, dude. Their cornerbacks are all 2-stars. So I'm sorry, I don't mean to upset a USC fan on here.
But every one of those teams won at least 8, didn't they? 8 or 9.
Let's see. I don't even see their win-loss record.
UCLA had a good quarterback last year. And, they had some upsets.
They'll be in the Big Ten next year.
They went
Yeah.
9-4. UCLA did.
9-4. And SC went 11-3, right? Washington had a good team. Washington's probably going to be in the top 10. We got to come out with our top 10, their top 20s or whatever, ours.
Yeah.
I mean,
do that
like
next couple
yours,
weeks.
mine, and Benton, you can do
Yeah.
one. I mean, we
Yeah.
might not agree with each other, but we got to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do that next couple of weeks. Toward the end of August. Maybe show
I've got
200, 201.
I've got my first draft, but I don't like it. I got somebody ranked very high that I don't know that I should have ranked very, very high. I'll just go and tell you who it
Utah?
is. I got
Go
Oregon
ahead.
way up there. And I don't know if that's smart.
I think a lot of people is going to have are going to have Utah in there.
See, and I've missed LSU somewhere. LSU's probably going to be in the top 10. Tennessee's probably going to be in the top 15.
5. They'll be.
Has anybody put any out yet? Like preseason?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I have seen some stuff.
Yeah, but just Lindy's and Athlon. I mean, but no, nothing official.
I'd say Tennessee will be they'll be a 7 or 8.
Florida State, Clemson, Penn State,
They're all those are top 10 teams. Ohio State,
Here's
Bama,
the,
Michigan, Georgia.
Oregon State's top 15, Utah, Washington.
Here's your FPI top 25.
All right.
Yeah. So they had
Go
Florida
ahead.
6 and 6.
North Carolina's 25.
Okay.
Oregon State, 24.
I thought they'd
Baylor,
be higher.
23.
Yeah, they're down this year.
The Texas Tech,
They're
They're supposed to be good.
no, that's too low. They're going to win the Big 12.
They're supposed to be. Them and Kansas are supposed to be good.
I got them.
Washington at 21. Don't they have that Michael Penix Jr.?
I don't agree with that at
That's
all.
crazy. What are they talking about?
Wow.
It's FBI now. Wisconsin at 20.
They're supposed to be
Well, they
good.
got a new coach.
A&M at 19.
I don't agree with that.
Florida at 18.
My gosh.
Yeah, I know, right?
Uh,
TCU.
they should be
Ole Miss.
25.
I do agree with TCU being in the top 25.
Yeah, yeah. But they
Utah
lost
at
a ton.
15.
That's a little low. Telling you, they're gonna be good.
14, Florida State. I think that might be a little
Golly, with 18 starters back.
Yeah.
Where these could people live on Mars?
I don't know. 13 is Oregon. 12
Wow.
is Tennessee.
I got to hear this top 10.
Tennessee's 12.
Oklahoma is 11.
I don't know a lot about Oklahoma.
How is the FPI even calculated? Because
I don't know where they getting this at.
So they got FSU, who is absolutely loaded and did great last year at 14.
And Oklahoma won like one game.
So who's this top 10? I can't wait to hear this top 10.
Bama, number 10.
Penn State is 10.
Georgia, 7.
Notre Dame is 9.
Ohio State, 8.
Clemson is 8.
I might could agree with that.
It's okay.
USC at number 7.
Yeah.
Michigan fighting Harbaugh's at 6.
No way. They're higher than that,
Y'all gonna
in my
love this.
opinion.
Y'all gonna love this. Texas at 5.
Yeah, they're high on them, man. I'm telling you. They are high on Sark out there this year.
LSU at 4. The
That's high for
Dogs. They're Dogs at 3. Georgia at 3. Alabama
Yes,
at
Bama
2.
and,
See, I don't
Ohio
agree with
State.
Alabama being ranked that high to start the year.
And Ohio
We'll
State.
see how they do. I think 5 or 6, but because their defense is going to be fantastic. Ohio State won. See,
I would just go ahead and I put Georgia 1,
I would put Georgia 1 for sure.
Ohio State 2,
Michigan 3.
Michigan 3.
Yeah, I don't think mine would be nothing like
See,
that.
I had Oregon 4, Bama 5,
Tennessee
LSU
would be
6.
4, Bama 5, LSU would be 6, and then like Clemson, Penn State,
had
and those guys.
Yeah, I had FSU, Clemson,
They could be 8, 9, 10.
Penn State.
Tennessee, those guys. Because
Yeah.
Tennessee's going to be good. Michigan, Ohio State. We picked Ohio State to win the title back in the summer, early summer, didn't we?
Yes.
That was our super early pick.
But I mean, I don't think I would start Alabama off at 5 or 6. I don't know on what basis you would put them at 2 right
I
now.
don't see nothing. I don't know.
I don't know. I'll be working on mine, and whatever y'all do, y'all just let me know, and I'll jump on.
I think I am going to keep Georgia at 1, though. I'm going to tell you that. And I mean, because they've won it 2 years in a row, and they've done nothing to lose it.
Jeff said when we say Ohio State, we have to say the. Okay, number 1, Georgia. Number 2, the Ohio State.
What if you had to put the in front of everything?
The Michigan Wolverines at 4, and probably Bama, the University of Alabama.
They do that.
And where's Auburn at, dude? With this kind of recruiting cycle, Auburn needs to be they 16, 17 birds. Are you with me? He's asleep. Wake up.
I'm not asleep.
Doing him weird yawns, man. We got some good yawns.
I mean, I don't know. They're
Auburn
borderline. I
17?
say they're borderline top 25.
I don't agree with Florida being 17, and Blaylock is a close friend of mine. You know Tyler Benton.
Yeah, I do.
He's big Auburn, Florida fan, but he wouldn't agree with that. He wouldn't agree with Florida being 17.
No, Florida was about 17 at the end of the season last year, wasn't they? And they just lost a quarterback. I just don't know if they're going to have enough offense.
I don't know.
No.
12. If they were, you could. I gotta have Auburn in there.
I'd wait and see. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to have to
I
create.
don't know. I think the smart thing on those top 25s on teams you're not sure of is rank them right out. And if they win a couple of games right off, bump them up in there. You don't rank them too high. Didn't they make Tennessee number 1 pretty quick last year after they beat Alabama?
Sure, absolutely. Well, that's all you got to do. When you beat Bama, you're.
And then they set it up for them. And no, Tennessee was. How did it work, Benton? Was Georgia 1 and Tennessee 2 when they played?
No, I think Tennessee was.
Tennessee was actually 1. They overtook Georgia.
About a half a second. Yeah.
Yeah.
For about a quarter or so, quarter and a half.
So that was actually done by design to create.
Yeah.
And they actually stopped their offense. That was the only game that their offense was stopped in all year. They wasn't stopped against South Carolina.
Oh, their defense went to sleep on purpose. They were fighting with offense. That's a big story. So you can find that story. They were arguing and fussing. They said, well, if you're going to act that way, I tell you what, big boy, we'll just let them score about 50 tonight. They just let Rattler go lose. You can go back and watch the film. The corners would stop running. I mean, the guys are on the 20, and they just stopped running. They stopped chasing them. And I was very surprised at that.
There's some give up in there.
They did on purpose because they were fussing. It was some inner turmoil for the players. So, top 5 would have to be Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan,
Bama is what I've got.
LSU, Bama.
Maybe LSU. I'm debating between LSU, Oregon, and Clemson and Florida State. I don't.
Yeah, Florida State could be 5. Put Bama at 6. Bama ain't proved nothing. I don't know why everybody. I mean, we're not sure about the offense. Defensively, they should be solid. But Florida State's brought back a lot of players
for 2 years in a row.
They would have to put them like 6 right behind Bama.
6, yeah.
But Bama's bringing in a new quarterback. So how do we put?
Yeah.
How do you put Bama ahead of Florida State?
I don't know how you could.
I mean, let's just be honest.
Well, I mean, if you're putting them number 2, you're just doing it based on name alone.
Yeah. Based on what we know from Georgia, the only reason they could be 1 or 2 is because they're the returning champs. Okay?
Yeah, I agree with that.
If they're okay with 1, they could be 1 or 2, vice versa with them and the Ohio State, one or the other.
I might go Ohio State 1, Georgia 2, Michigan 3. I don't know who 4 is.
I mean, Ohio State's got some answers that they gotta, some questions they gotta answer too.
Oh, they got some.
Well, they got a quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just don't have any receivers.
Oh, they got
questions.
Harrison's. Yeah, they got
2 of the top 5.
Yeah. They're gonna have some of the best receivers in the country.
And whoever that 3rd receiver is fixing to have a field day up there.
Yeah.
Because what do you do? What do you do when you got 2 of the best? You could possibly have the 2 All-American receivers on the same team, the first team All-American receivers.
Yeah.
I think the other guy, they go on about Harrison. I think the other guy is just as good.
Yeah, well,
Egbuka.
Yes, and he is. And the thing is, the quarterback there.
I don't know who they're called. Well, you told me the guy from New Jersey.
Yeah, the O-line is missing 3 players at Ohio State. That hurts.
Yeah,
but the quarterback and Harrison Jr. played high school together.
Right.
So that has some. They have some chemistry there.
Emeka Egbuka, but they got both the running backs back. They got Henderson and that Maya Williams, and
that'd be hard to beat.
They will, very hard.
Yeah.
They'll be in that playoff.
Let's get off here and let Birds. He's got a science class 3rd shift up there.
Hey, we're off for a couple of days. We'll come back in Wednesday, right? We got.
Yeah, I got 1st shift on Monday and then 3rd on Friday. I got a history and then another class. I got a aerodynamics.
We're doing 7 on, 3 off, 7 on, 2 off, 7 on, 1 off.
We're gonna kick our. Speaking of shows, we're gonna kick our shows off this week.
Oh, okay.
Wednesday we're gonna have not really a fake pick 'em, but we're gonna look at some of the scrimmage games and talks about those games and get going. And we have football every Friday from here on out to the middle of December. So
yeah, thank God. I mean, really, I get tired during football season, because it's 4 and 5 days a week, but I love it, and I'm bored without it. I mean, like tonight. I mean, I'm going to go home and watch the ID channel.
Yeah,
which is fine, but
yeah,
it's also nice to have the option to flip it on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, and there's not many more. You look, the 25th around here, you're going to have. I've looked 5 Piedmont scheduled. Piedmont's going to be at 5 for a jamboree.
And teams start playing the 25th though.
And the 24th, 5 has got Geraldine on Thursday night. I got to be up there, and it's at Geraldine.
Yeah, I'll go up there and meet. Well, let me check. I got to check with somebody. I'll have practice, but I'll shoot over there from Somerville if I can.
I think it's at Geraldine. I'm pretty sure I looked at it again. Wow.
Geraldine's just right on 75. That wouldn't even be a bad trip.
It's just straight up past 5, ain't it? You
Right.
just drive straight across. Don't turn there right to go in the school. You just drive straight up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never been over there. I've been through there, but not to the school.
I've never been over there neither, but if it's a Thursday night game, I might be interested.
Dude, come on. We'll pack up Zach. He said he'd drive us. We'll pack up a bunch of us.
I'll have to meet y'all there, but I'll come after practice. So because
I know on
5:30, I can get there by 6:30.
The 17th, I'm going to Fort Payne to watch Oxford and Fort Payne. Oxford gonna be any good?
Yes.
Always.
Yeah, Coach Sam Adams is.
They're good when they're bad.
I mean, his name's Sam Adams, so it's Coach Adams.
You know it. No, I mean they really are. They're good when they're bad.
Have you seen their new stadium that they got going on down there? Go on their Twitter, Birds, and this tool around over there, Coach Adams and his the new stadium that they got going on down there. Yes, that'll be interesting.
You have to come up and check out the new digs up in Somerville. It's looking pretty darn nice.
Yeah, it's pretty sharp. Come up there one day, Matt, and I'll show you around. It'll need to be on a Monday, though, probably.
It can be at like 4 o'clock Georgia time.
Yeah, 4
or 5.
Yeah, some week. Yeah, I don't know what week yet. Everybody practices in the morning up there on Monday, but one day when you're off, you could probably just go up to the school.
Oh, I won't be off.
Well, I'm talking about one day when you're off.
That'd be off Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, I know. Well, we're doing the 3 shifts.
Yeah, we'll swap us. I'm gonna need to swap out a second. Hey, Miss Kathy, if you're watching, I need to swap that second shift, that geography class.
That's right. Well, but they do have nice facilities, and it'd be something to see. I mean, you can just ride up there with me one day. It ain't no big deal.
Yeah, I'm home at 3 or so.
Yeah, we can just go. I mean, it might be after football season. There's going to be days where we're off.
Anyway,
but
yeah, we got a lot of games coming. Turkey County's playing Scottsboro, and they got Alexandria coming too.
Mm-hmm.
Bluff's going to have another game. I see another one on their schedule. They're going to have a little jamboree.
Yeah, I'll be at that. I'll be calling that on the 17th.
Scottsboro section. Yeah. Well, that's who they had over there at the school. So they're going to play them again.
Play them for a half. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we get fired off the first round of scrimmages in Georgia this week.
This week?
Yeah, I looked through that schedule. He's got it on Twitter. There's some good Rock. Wait a minute, Rock Mart.
August the 4th?
Yes, sir. Rock Mart's at Bremen.
Yeah. No, there was another one, Rock Mart, somewhere, and I was like,
I don't know.
8-10. It's a Thursday night game. Rock Mart is at Rome.
That's it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be down there for that one.
I think I may mark my calendar.
Yeah, we play on the 10th.
That's August the 10th, right?
I mean, I knew middle school was starting their preseason games, but I didn't know varsity was.
Yes, sir. 8-4. I got a long list.
It's at Rome.
It is at Rome on 8-10. Yes, sir. Rock Mart at Rome.
Wow.
And if I get there by,
well, the only thing about this is they start early, and tell me if I'm wrong, Benton. They did not play their starters long, do they?
I mean, it just depends. Normally about 2 quarters.
If I was to get there by 5 or 5:30, could I?
I remember when Star did them. It was maybe a half, and it started. It did not wait till 7 o'clock to start.
Yeah, they usually play at 5 or 6. They probably go at 6 Georgia
time? I don't know.
6 Georgia. What day did you?
I'll find out for sure and send it over to you.
Yeah, McCord is the starter. Yeah, McCord. The Ohio State.
The U.
Well, that's Miami.
No, I know. I'm just saying that's what everybody calls it. I can't call it that. I got to call it Miami.
Oh, yeah.
I have a hard time saying the Ohio State. I have a hard time saying Brigham Young. I can't say Brigham Young.
Yeah, that's pretty good, Brigham Young.
Nobody ever. Who you playing this week? Brigham Young. They say, no, we're going to play BYU. I mean, has anybody in the history of college football ever said y'all got Brigham Young this week?
Yeah, there's some old guy out there.
I guarantee you.
Mizzou.
Has anybody ever said who y'all got this week? We got Texas Christian instead of TCU.
They would probably go, who is that? Who's Texas Christian?
Here's the one. Has anybody ever said who y'all play this week? Texas Technical College. Georgia Tech, Polytech. It's actually Polytechnic, isn't it?
Well, that's why Auburn was Auburn. It was Alabama. Yeah. Auburn was Alabama Polytech.
Yes.
It was actually started as Alabama Men's Methodist College in the early 1900s.
Benton, I don't mean to be critical, and I'm not being critical at all, but
he's being critical.
Alabama they start tomorrow with football practice.
Yeah.
How are these? When did Georgia start football practice?
First day of padded practice is tomorrow.
But they've got games Thursday?
Yes, sir. Friday. Yes, sir.
So they're going to play a half?
Why would they?
No, they're going to play.
They practiced 3 days last week.
Yes, and it's all been acclimation. So you hadn't even been able to be in pads yet. But, yeah, there are a slew of games on 8-4.
Yeah, so guys, you can go over to his Twitter page, and it's there's a lot of, I went through it probably yesterday. I looked through a lot of them. There's a lot of good games. That Rome is hosting Rockmart. Are you kidding me?
That almost seems dangerous. When's their first week? Rome at Rockmart will be a good one. When's their first week of real week one?
I think it's 8-18 is the first week, and Rome is hosting Cass in the Corky Kale Classic.
Wow. They won't have any trouble with them, will they?
Well, Cass
has got those 4, 5, or 6 guys that jump off the board. There'd be one guy.
Well, I mean, I'm not knocking Cass. Just Rome's tough to play with.
Jeff.
Another good one on 8-10, which is next Thursday, that same day as Rome. Cass is at Cedartown, so there you go. That'll be a good test for.
Oh wow!
Cass.
Cedartown lost a lot, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't expect.
No, that
don't mean nothing.
No, don't.
We lost 22 starters, so
semifinals. They'll walk to the semifinals.
They'll make a deep run.
Yeah.
They're like Alabama, Georgia's. Well, they lost the whole starting lineup to they won the title again. Yeah, go there and find Burge on Facebook and everywhere. YouTube, they do a show over there, him and Lawrence and the guys, and that Twitter feed over at B Burge, you can find him over there, and he's got those schedules on there. And there's a lot of good. What time you think they'll start again? 6 Georgia.
No, the people that I've talked to, either 7 or 7:30, and just like a regular game, man. It's going to be.
So they're going to really get them. I love it, man. That would be a good chance for
3 days after they start hitting.
It'd be a chance for people like me and you that don't get to go because we're over here covering Bama games. We could go see some of these guys play.
There are some schools that play. If you select not to play in the spring, you can play 2 fall scrimmages. And like Coosa, for instance, is playing on 8-4. And then they'll have a whole week off, and then they're going to play another scrimmage game on 8-11. So they'll play 2 scrimmage games, and then be ready to play their 8-18 regular season game. So they get 2 scrimmages in.
Is Alabama have another off week? I wonder.
Alabama don't even start on most teams in Alabama don't even start till the 25th.
Not the games, but I mean like their padded practice.
Oh no, I think they can
because they was
go
on
tomorrow, maybe Thursday.
Well, get this, Todd. I'm pretty sure that Tennessee schools started scrimmaging Friday, a couple days ago. They're already in pads.
All right, now.
But their championship games will be.
Let me make something clear. We love football, but football is good in the fall.
Yeah,
it'll just be miserably hot.
Yeah, I mean you're well. They do start late, so never mind what I was going to say.
Well, they get done weeks before we do.
Yeah,
they start a little earlier and get done a little sooner. I'd rather start a little later and play on in the cool.
Yeah.
I hear you.
I know everybody's going in the mornings anyway, and the games start later, so that heat may not be as big of an
issue. It is too. I'm telling you, I'm fat now. When I'm standing there on the sideline holding that camera and wiping sweat. Last year it was bad. Seemed like year before last or so, it wasn't that bad. I remember having not a bad opening, but man, last year I remember being up Sandrock. It was steaming. I mean, at sundown, and finally at halftime, you catch a break.
All right, I'm just gonna say it. I'm sorry. I don't want to make anybody mad. There shouldn't be a scrimmage game on August the 4th anywhere. I mean, seriously.
I have to go check that out. I'm so curious to see Rockmart. I really want to see. We're going to try to go to a game over there.
Yeah, we were going to try to go to a game later in the year. I mean, we've been before. We went and watched Troop Cedartown. We watched Rockmart Piedmont.
Somebody's going to
Center and Rock.
What was it? Was it Buford's going to? What was that game? I wrote it down. It's in my book right here. I wrote down a couple. I already got a schedule here kind of made.
We figured it out, but I can't remember what it was.
Carrollton's going to be on ESPN.
Buford at Mills Creek, October the 13th.
Yeah.
And then
But then we decided it was too far away.
Well, I can get us there. I'll go. I can go. Zach said he'd drive us up there. But it's at Mill Creek.
Have you ever been to Mill Creek?
No, and I've been told by a guy that I know at the gym
traffic
that lives. No, I can get there. I've drove to California. I can get to a 2-hour drive to Atlanta. It's that being there, and he's from over that way, and atmosphere probably big like Anniston.
Oh.
So I don't know.
Good.
I don't know if it's going to, I don't know. Now, please, if people are watching, I will take your advice on at Mills Creek, but I was just rumored to say, like, they will probably, like, they're going to give you a knife at the gate when you come in. Sir, I got to check you. Do you have a knife? No. Okay, here's one. I'm kidding. Okay. I don't know. I just heard that if it was at Buford, I heard that other way around, that it's a nice middle class area. It's pretty okay, it's not.
Let me give you this piece of information. Mill Creek is the largest school in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, I knew that. 4,000.
3,651 enrolled.
So we're just talking about a stadium full of people. So we have to get there.
Yeah.
It's 2.5 hour drive. So I'd like to be there at 6. So I have to leave at 3:30, 4 o'clock. 3:30 if you're going, 4 o'clock if you're going to go hit the drive through. Like at a Bojangles, like down there toward around Atlanta somewhere.
1 o'clock in the morning.
Game be over at 9. Well, no, because we got an hour. We're going to drop a time. So game be over at.
You probably just can't go to that game if I'm guessing.
I will.
Huh? No, I'm talking about you probably have to go through some GoFan or something like that.
Yeah, you just buy a ticket just like you do the other ones.
Mill Creek Stadium is opened in 2004, and it has the capacity of 7,400.
Man, you talking about now look, you want to talk about high school football, and you want to say you love high school football. There's not I don't know of any other game anywhere around on that day that will be any better than Buford Mill Creek. Where?
What day is it?
October the 13th.
I don't know.
See, Dalton's at Rockmart the Friday before.
That be
an hour drive.
Dalton's supposed to be good this year,
but I put it in on Massey, and they got Rockmart picked to win by 30.
Dalton's pretty good.
Yeah, they're going to be all right, but they're not going to be Rockmart.
It'll be a smoke. Yeah, it'll be a smoke show. But Buford Mill Creek, it's just the thing of to see so many D1 athletes on the field at one time. I'll never have another chance to see. They're just not, because there's some games like that here in Alabama. It'd be like going to Thompson and Central, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they don't even have that many.
No,
not as many as these guys. These schools have 4,000 or 5,000 students.
Yeah,
Thompson's closest, like 3,500, or Auburn's got something like that. There's a lot of small colleges. And my buddy Zach that comes on, I know from the gym, he said, dude, he said, I'll go. I said, I'll drive you. We'll go. I'll buy him a ticket, $10 ticket, and I'd have to leave as soon as we got in. As soon as I get in from work, it'd be change clothes and be over with at 9 Alabama, which would be 10 Georgia. So that put us back here it'd be midnight.
Mm-hmm.
So check this out on.
You lose an hour, so it'll be 11.
On August 18th, Langston Hughes versus Carrollton is going to be on ESPN2 starting at 6 Eastern time. So you could catch a little bit of that before you get out. That's 5 y'all's time, correct?
Yep.
So 5 o'clock start on ESPN2 on the 18th. Langston Hughes, Aaron Nolan going to
That's who Jeff loves. He loves talking about. You might have told him who he is. Aaron Nolan. I don't
quarterback.
know. Yeah, he's a big time quarterback over there.
From where?
Carrollton.
Langston Hughes. Actually, Langston Hughes is quarterback, but Carrollton's quarterback is probably.
Oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah,
Juju Lewis.
Juju.
Right?
Yeah, Juju.
Everybody
wants him.
Yeah, the first Geraldine at 5, Coosa at Spring Garden, Cherokee County at Piedmont, and then on the 8th, Coosa at Gillsville's the only. Everybody else kind of out of town. Calhoun's at Cedartown on September the 8th. That's another one.
Good, but
yeah, I think that would be pretty darn good because Calhoun. I think they lost 21-7.
That'd be the one. I don't know. Is anybody around here that night?
Coosa's at Gillsville. Gillsville's the host and they're the only game at home.
Where are the away teams at? That's far.
Yeah, it's just they're off.
That'd be the one to go to. I'm not telling you not to go to Buford Mill Creek, but that would be the one to go to.
I go both. Aaron would go, wouldn't he? Well, it depends on what Valley Head's doing.
Oh, he probably would, depending on what Valley Head's doing, yeah.
And that's on the October 13th. But anyway, Donahoe at Cedar Bluff later on, Appalachian at Cedar Bluff, Pisgah at 5 on October the 20th. Be a good game. That's Mark, check that on your little calendar right there if you love mountain football. Valley Head will be at Cedar Bluff. I think it's Cedar Bluff's homecoming. And 5's at Collinsville. Check. I'm excited for Ernie and them this year in Collinsville. He's got some ball players over there.
Oh yeah, he does.
They've had some move-ins and fired up about that.
So what was that day you said 5 was playing in a scrimmage against somebody? What day was that?
I'll tell you right here. Let's see. Calendar. What did I do with it? There it is. That would be the 25th at 5. Piedmont will be traveling to 5 on August the 25th. Then they will host Cherokee County over at Piedmont. Piedmont will be at Plainview and at Sylvania and at Geraldine. They will host Anniston again, Westbrook, Glencoe, and Hopes Bluff and Sylacauga late. Sylvania, all those 3 games they have to travel to, Piedmont, Sylvania, Plainview, Geraldine, they're all good.
Yeah.
That's 3 of the toughest teams in that region. They're traveling to all of them. Coach Miller's first year. Sheesh. That'd be a tough one.
Yeah, it'll be all right. They're about like Alabama and Georgia, too. You got to.
5 will be at North Sand Mountain the 8th. They will play September 29th. They play Plainview. They'll host Plainview. Plainview will be in town. And they'll have Sandrock. Sandrock Wildcats will be at 5 October 13th. And one of their big games there. Hey, November 3rd at Sylvania. That's the battle. Ain't that? Is that the battle? No, that's Geraldine and Sylvania. Scarrow Creek battle. Is that right?
That's Geraldine Crossville.
Geraldine Crossville. Okay. Yeah, it's bad, ain't it? Yeah. Also, no football team, Burge. Did you hear about that?
Something about not having enough upperclassmen or something.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
I'll tell you more about it. I can't really tell you on here.
Leroy Bears, just that picture I posted today.
Yeah,
Ryan sent me that picture. Appreciate that. These numbers, look right there in the middle, 50, 51, 52. Just take a little gander at these 1A South Alabama football players there. It's on the page. You can find it.
These guys are good enough to play middle school in Georgia.
Oh,
All right, in 7A.
yeah.
That's a joke, by the way.
They're huge.
Yeah.
Look at these men right here 50, 51, 52, 53, 55. He's bigger than me.
Yeah, they're huge.
And they're 1A birds. 1A, small, rinky dink, little small town football here in Alabama. Student population, K through 12, like 500 kids, 600. K through 12.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Alabama, again, hasn't consolidated. You know, which I don't want them to, but if they consolidate Cherokee County schools, the Cherokee County High School would be huge.
I think they'll be. We've talked about that for a little bit. We was assumed there'd be 6A, I guess.
Yeah.
They play Gadsden City, Fort Payne, I guess. But, you know, the teams, and we've done that before too. We sit here and went through players like, well, what if when, Mark Clifton is at Cedar Bluff, what if he'd have been at center and then you had this newer era,
Yeah.
What if you had all these all-state linemen like the McCullough boy, and then what if he got to play with Brad and all them at center?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
At what if talking in high school football is fun, but it's useless.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Guys, I think we just broke the record.
For what?
Longest show ever.
No. Oh, I already know what that is. That's 238.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Howard, come on.
Or no, it was 2. No. Bo and all them were here.
Oh, yeah. God, we had a good time that night.
Yeah.
We had a good on show 100.
Yeah, was it 100? Yeah. 238.
Yeah, 200 show. We'll be here in a few weeks, man. We'll have we'll bring a bunch of people on. We'll bring a bunch of people on I'll send out. We'll put them all on the screen and
that's big.
We'll have some cake here.
Blowout, firecrackers.
Yeah, pow, pow. And then going picking Alabama and went pow, pow.
Well, they one of them ones where you Kit Kats, not Kit Kats, where you light them all and all the fireworks go off.
Black Cat.
Black Cats, not Kit Kats. We're gonna be lighting Kit Kats and smoking them.
I like Kit Kats too, though.
But yeah, Black Cats. Oh yeah, people used to do that all the time. Bottle rockets. Well, I mean, we're gonna recognize it though. I don't know.
So you're telling me you've got a fireworks stand? You ain't got no streaming memes, no bunghole burglars, no whistling maymays, no black toe chasers or screaming kitty cats? No.
What's that on?
So you're standing right here in the middle of a fireworks stand telling me that you ain't got no bunghole busters, no Philadelphia chasers.
What movie is that?
You don't know what that's on, D?
No. I'm younger than you. I mean, I'm older than y'all.
It's let's see.
Joe Dirte.
Oh yeah. Black Cats.
We'll probably get the show removed. It'll probably get pulled down for playing it. I don't even care because this is one of the best things it's one of the best scenes in entertainment history.
Sparklers.
We're talking about this, so we can talk about its reaction.
This is the good stuff. Snakes and sparklers.
Are you nuts, dude? You need stuff that'll explode. Go boom.
Why is that good?
You might as well ask, why is the tree good? Why is the sunset good? Why are boobs good? Man, firecrackers. Stick them in mailboxes. You drop them in toilets. You shove them up bullfrog's ass. Well, there you go.
I'm trying to get
I've never frog gigged like that.
Bullfrog's butt blows back to you to fix it. You win twice. You're going to tell me
Here it is.
that you don't have no black cats, no Roman candles, or screaming memes?
No.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh,
you don't
man.
got no lady fingers, buzz buttles, snicker bombs, church burners, finger blasters, gut busters, zippity doo-dahs, or crap flappers?
No, I don't.
You're going to stand there owning a fireworks stand and tell me you don't have no whistling bungholes, no spleen splitters, whisker biscuits, honky lighters, hoosker doos,
Husker Don'ts.
cherry bombs, nipsy daisers, with or without the scooter stick, or one single whistling kitty chaser?
I believe I'd be running him off.
You
No,
never seen that?
I've watched the movie before, but I didn't remember that part.
Oh, he's a great man. Guys, I think we've reached the part of the show where we're all
Ready to go?
yeah, we gonna get off here and eat a sandwich.
Yeah, I ain't eat yet. That's the only reason I'm ready to go.
Put my feet up. Dean will go sleep. He'll get sleepy. He'll get hungry. He'll get to yawning on you. He'll get ill. We got to get off here and put my old feet up. Oh yeah, Birds, we appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate
Glad
you
you can-
having me.
You're gonna be back on.
We'll see you again.
Yes, sir.
Have to travel to Savannah to play a game. Oh, okay. Did school board decide the players? I don't know, Jeff, about that whole deal. I don't know. I wouldn't think so. It's just going to be a matter of fact. They just don't play football this year.
No,
Carlson.
yeah, they're done. They don't even have a coach.
He's asking if the kids can leave. I guess they can leave, but I mean, would they grant them some kind of special permission, like
I don't know how any of them there even were.
like any zoning type? Like, well, you're not in this zone if you want to go to Geraldine, because like their best linemen go to Geraldine and play, but he don't live in the zone, so he's going to have to. Well, okay, we're going to grant special permission for a Crossville kid because of what happened. Could he go to Geraldine and play without moving? I wonder if they would attend some kind
I think
of.
they would let them. I mean, you
Probably
can,
not.
I don't know how you could be rough on them.
Well, you don't live in that area.
I think they should let them play wherever they want.
Yeah, I do too. That's what Jeff's saying.
I mean, if they won't play at Mill Creek,
Yeah,
if they won't make the drive,
it's a heck of a drive.
I mean, you'd have to homeschool.
I got a game tonight, Daddy. We're driving 6 hours to a football game in Savannah, Georgia. All right, let's hit the music. Throw it up neutral. Kill the headlights. Put it in neutrals. Guys, we appreciate you. And we're excited everybody decided to come on and hang out with us tonight. And we will be back next week with another lineup. We will be Bama, Georgia, and we'll dabble in some LSU. So y'all come back next week and hang out with us. Show number 199 next week.
See y'all guys.
See you. Good to see you, Benton.
Keep your heads clear and your hearts full of God. Y'all have a great week.